Hey guys, this is Wings of Redemption, and we're back for Painkiller Early, episode 9. Today we have a very special guest. It's our it's actually our second female guest. I keep forgetting about Brittany because she never said anything.
Oh,
but we have we have Mrs. Woody's gamer tag with us tonight.
Hi, how are you?
And there she is. There she is.
Yes.
My wife.
All
Hi,
right.
How are you?
Maybe we should start with a cool story of the week, bro, since we have the two together. And maybe we should do how they met.
You know, I was thinking that too. I was thinking, so normally every week I do this story from like my childhood or teenage years.
You have lots of them.
and this week, and one of the ones that it never gets chosen is how we met.
Why is that?
Well, he always
cares?
has.
People do
The
care
alternative
about it.
is always just so cool.
Yeah, the alternatives. There's a couple of good ones. I came up with like catchy titles for them all.
Okay.
And I think it helps the other ones get selected. But I get PMs all the time asking how we met.
Okay.
So
I snagged you. That's how we met.
so here's the deal.
I want to hear how you think we met, and then how I think we met.
All right. So
I can tell you what he's been telling us.
Okay.
He was starring a Mr. Universe contest, and and you were a judge, and he was like the runner-up in it.
That sounds about right.
I was only runner-up because she slept with me.
Right.
I got her vote. No, all right. So here's the deal. In high school, I had bad grades, and I went to college and kind of turned things around. In my first semester in college, I had like a 3.2, which is not really an outstanding GPA, but for a 1.98er like me out of high school, this was like a whole new me. I had learned to study, and I was having some success in college, and I was excited.
And then you met me.
Oh my. So anyway, there was this thing that people did. They called it chop suey. I lived on the F floor, which I guess would be the 6th floor of the dorms. And you know how stairways go up like half a flight and they turn around and you can go up half a flight and you can sort of see all the way to the bottom. And you know, normal people are content to just see how far they can spit like between the little handrails until it hits one. But in my dorm, they used to drop things like food or like jars of jelly or salsa.
Goats.
What'd you say?
Guns.
No.
Goats.
So I had finished my last final in my first semester in college, and I was pretty excited. And I was dropping like jelly and cleaning out the refrigerator to go home for winter break. Someone's blowing on their mic. But so anyway, I did that, and what's above an RA? The RD. Right? She's the person who's in charge of all the RAs, if I remember. And she got mad. She heard the jelly like shatter at the outside her door, and she came all the way up, and she's like, did you guys drop the jelly? And there were 2 of us that did it, and there were 3 of us around.
He will eventually get to the point where he meets me, but
I
it's
swear,
a long, long way to
We're
get
on our
there.
way there. So anyway, she looks at me and she's like, "Did you drop the jelly?" And I'm like, "No, ma'am. I don't even like jelly. I might have an allergy, as a matter of fact. I didn't drop the jelly. I don't have any jelly." And
You'll find none of it in my fridge.
So then what she does is she points to the 3 of us. She says, "I'm holding you guys responsible for this jelly. And it's me, my partner in crime, and another guy who didn't do anything." So when this innocent guy was about to take a fall, I was like, "All right, I dropped the jelly. It was me." So I meet them the next morning with some sort of like trial. It's me, the RD, and like some sort of authority figure at the college, and they're like, "Did you drop the jelly?" And I'm like, "Yes." And they're like, "Have you been dropping the jelly a lot?" And I'm like, "I think it was like my 2nd time." Now that was about the truth. The truth is there was like 15, 20 different parties or groups that would do this. And but when they caught me, they thought I was responsible for like every piece of dropped food down that stairwell all semester long. And they threw me out of the dorms for 4 semesters, which was ridiculously harsh. So I tried to explain, like, look, I'm not from around here. I can't just commute from home. This is a really big deal. If you throw me out of the dorms, I don't know how I'm going to get a college education. This is not a small thing. And they're like, well, you can appeal it. So I did, and somehow in my brilliant oratory, the 4 semesters got bumped up to 5, and yeah, so this was a wreck. So the next semester comes back, and I'm on the college swim team. I'm a pretty good swimmer, and I talk to my coach, and I'm like, Coach, what can you do for me here? I'm in some trouble. And he gets it knocked down to the current semester, so it's just a couple more months plus community service, and this is where the meeting of the wife comes in. So, you would think, like, what do they do with the delinquents, the people who cause trouble around college? They could be cleaning the police cars or picking up trash, and I think those were actually choices that they gave me. But the one I picked was babysitting. I worked in like a daycare. And Jackie's friend was there too. So where are we here? Jackie's friend was there. She told Jackie to come in and come see me. And Jackie brought food for her friend. Her guise was that her friend had forgotten her lunch, so she stopped by and gave her food. And the truth was, I think I was at least as interested in the food as I was in Jackie.
I'm sure you were.
Yeah, because
I was hungry.
I was feeding myself for the first time ever. There were no cafeterias, no nothing, and I kept coming back for more food, like another bite of her lunch, and another bite of her lunch, and
I had jelly beans.
Jelly beans, I remember those.
Yeah.
And I was gorgeous at the time. Do you remember?
Had no hair. And ugly orange, wrestling shoes?
You couldn't, they were track and field shoes.
Oh, okay, track and field shoes.
And obviously, you couldn't resist them.
I could not resist them.
Yeah.
They were the ugliest shoes I've ever seen.
And
I think I did see a man on the street the other day with uglier shoes and thought, oh, would we like those?
So the no hair thing, it wasn't because I was going bald, it was because I was a swimmer. And I had shaven every little hair on my body that wasn't covered by those tiny old school bikini swimsuit things.
Eyebrows too?
No, I think I had eyebrows.
You had eyebrows.
Okay,
Yeah,
fair
enough. But there was no hair on my arms, legs, or head, and I had fluorescent orange track shoes, and she couldn't resist. So she gave me this little note. I had a side job where I taught kids how to swim.
I didn't give you a note. The kid gave you a note.
Right. She had.
You didn't even tell him the story right.
She had this.
You tell this long, detailed story about how you dropped the jelly, the trial, you're kicked out of the dorms. You get to my part and it's all a blur. Like, I don't really remember how I met her. I can think she was kind of there, and she had food. I'm not really sure what kind of food.
So I was coaching this little swim team, and she had this little teeny bopper give me a note saying
Teeny bopper. It was a little
to call
boy.
her. Yeah,
He's not a teeny bopper. He's some little kid.
that's what I'm going for here.
Okay, what was I wearing? That's your favorite
hell
part
knows?
of the story.
Oh, to tell you we
that's-
met. Yeah. So when she met me to check me out to see if I was, worth sending a note to, she had her shirt unbuttoned down to like her belly button.
Not true. But
She
that's
had
the way he
like
tells the
2
story.
buttons buttoned, and
Did not. I
she
was wearing my father's shirt.
She was showing the goods.
There are no.
So
I think I might have been like 96 pounds at 5'7" with
Yeah.
Julia Roberts curls in my hair at the time.
Nice.
yeah,
All right.
Jersey girls for the win.
Yes, it was. My hair was. Well, it
Yeah.
wasn't teased big. but it
97 pounds and a good 12 of them were in her hair. So, she has this little kid hand me the letter, and I was actually pretty psyched at first because she's hot. And I was like, all right, I'm totally calling her. I've got myself a date. And then I realized it was April 1st. So I didn't call. I was
No,
like,
he didn't call.
they're
I thought it
playing
was
a
a
trick
joke.
on me. Yep. And they were mad at me, the next couple of days. Why didn't you call? And I was like, well, it was April Fool's. I thought you were playing a joke on me. So I called the next week, and that was that. And we still celebrate April Fool's as when we met 17 years later.
Is
Wow,
it
that's-
17?
Yeah.
92? I don't know. You do the math.
18?
18 years. See, you were wrong.
Whatever.
A long time
man.
ago.
So there's
That's a
the
pretty,
the how I met my wife story. I was doing
That's a pretty
community
cool story.
service.
I got some flashbacks when you mentioned the jelly, though. I went with. I may have told this story before, but I went on spring break whenever I graduated high school, and we were on the 12th floor of this hotel. Now I don't know whose idea that was, but it was a terrible idea if they had known that I was going on the trip, because I like to break stuff. And I mean, I'm 18 years old. I'm actually one of the oldest people that are there. A lot of them are 17. So I'm like, yeah, all right, I'm 18 now. And like we had been drinking on the beach, and we come back to the hotel, and you know those big luggage carts, like the things that
The bellhop would use.
Yes, they're like got the big brass like metal part and a thing to put suitcases on and all that stuff. Those things are heavy. They weigh about 100 pounds, I'd say. And me and two of my buddies are walking up the room, and there's one of those parked there. And the way this hotel is shaped, it's shaped like an O. It's a circular hotel. And in the center of that O is this long shaft that goes all the way down to the bottom. And, you know, it's open, and there's a courtyard in the bottom of it. So the rooms are in a circular sort of thing. I don't know if you can imagine that. But basically, you can look down through the middle of the hotel over a balcony down to this courtyard, 120 feet.
Okay.
And I'm like, let's
Miami
throw.
Vice.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, let's throw that luggage cart down there. And I'm like, come on.
No.
I'm like, come
this
on.
is in the interior of a building. As you led to the story, I'm picturing you throwing it outside on the sidewalk or something.
Interior.
All right.
There's not anybody down there though. It's 3 a.m. It's all safe. Well,
Of course.
marginally.
Marginally
I'm like,
safe.
I'm like, Boone, let's throw this thing off the railing. And so me and my buddy Boone, we push it up there, and I'm like, all right, you get that side, I'll get this side. He's like, no, man, no, this is all me right here. And I'm like, that's even better, plausible deniability. I'm like, let me wipe my prints off first. So he picks the thing up over his head, and he's like, shit, he's like trembling. It's so heavy, you know. He's like trying to keep his balance, and he just like throws it off the edge of the balcony. And we look down, and there's a few seconds of complete and utter silence as this thing it's like a movie. It's spinning as it just speeds to the bottom of this balcony. When it hits the bottom, there happened to be a concrete bench down there, and it hits it with the force of a nuclear weapon.
Oh, no.
It's the loudest explosion you ever heard, and the concrete bench explodes. Pieces of the luggage cart go everywhere. And we're like, that was cool. The next morning,
Yeah, I'm waiting for the repercussions.
someone knocks on the door. And we're all, I'm not going to lie, we're all laying in there half naked and drunk. There's like, I wake up and I don't even know
Are
who the
there
girl.
any girls there?
Yeah, oh yeah, that's, I don't want to paint the wrong picture here. I wake up and there's 2 girls in my bed and I only know one of them. So I go to the door because my
Parents
bitch.
must be so proud.
I go to the door because my buddy was like bitching out. He's like terrified of who's knocking at the door. I'm like, dude, answer the door. So I answered the door, and there's this woman with 2 guards behind her, and she's the hotel manager. And I turn around and like look back into the apartment, which is littered with alcohol. I'm talking like 20 liquor bottles laying everywhere. 2 people passed out on the floor. I'm like, she doesn't need to see this. So I edge my way out into the hallway and start talking to him. And they're like, we need to go inside. And I'm like, all right. And so, long story short, Boone ended up taking the rap for it, and while we all partied at spring break, he was doing community service for the hotel, picking up garbage. Oh. And his parents drove all the way from North Georgia down to Panama, picked him up, and drove back without saying a word to him the whole time. But it was
That
epic.
didn't seem like a good idea.
It was a great idea. I'm so glad we did that. You should have seen it, man.
You're
it was
so
great.
glad he did that, and you didn't.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. If I'd done that, my parents would have murdered me.
You know, I've never came across life where I was looking at shit and like, I wonder what that would look like if it was in pieces. I've never done that.
Oh, God. That's me. That's a perfect description of me.
Oh, yeah. I have the same interest. Hey, have you guys been following E3?
No, I haven't.
I've been watching Hutch and Sark hanging out and being really envious of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you done much business travel?
A little bit, yeah.
See, I
like
look
it.
at that and I'm like, oh my God, lousy hotels, walking around all day. They're standing
Pocket
in
full
line.
of receipts.
I don't envy that at all. I can do that here.
All right, here's the way I see it. Lousy hotels, as far as I'm concerned, hotels are like pizza. Any pizza's good to me. I like hotels. Like, I like the whole experience of the hotel, being somebody else, being in some weird bed that God knows what happened the night before, the little soaps and shampoos, the single serving Q-tips. I like hotels. And then, like, I mean, they're standing in line, but it's like standing in line at a roller coaster park. Like, when you get there in the line, it's some cool stuff. They're getting to see stuff that we can't see. We're not allowed to see. They're playing I remember Hutch saying he was playing Portal 2, and I was like, man, I wish I could play Portal 2.
This has no appeal to me whatsoever. those stupid little soaps are an attraction to you? Like, and
Yes!
So I remember when I was like 22, I got my first grown-up job, and they sent me out to California for 3 weeks training. And I got a rental car, which was a convertible Mustang, kind of cool. And I stayed in the hotel, and it was the neatest thing to me. I was so happy to be traveling, and it made me feel important to be on business travel. It was like I achieved a certain level of career success, something you don't get, I don't know, as a waiter or something like that. But I'm over that now. Now business travel is just a chore, and I don't envy them at E3 at all. I'll hang on a little bit and let them send the games to me.
Regular travel's a chore with children.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, though. No, we're excited when we go. Like when we go to the Disney cruises.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
No,
I've been on one business trip my entire life, and it's just a pocket full of fucking receipts. And you got to call in and tell them what you bought. Every time you purchase like a soda with their damn card, you got to tell them about it.
Oh, man. Let me just say this. Ford Motor Company, they give you a card, and they're like, have fun, buddy, which is probably why they're having financial trouble. But it's like going to the Detroit Auto Show. Oh, my God. It's so much fun.
I work for Mech. I did my travel with Mech last, and you got $50 allotted for food a day. You got the hotel was paid. They prepaid your hotel before you even went on the trip.
Wow.
Yeah, ours is somewhere in between. I think you get $50 a day if you don't have receipts. If you do have receipts, then they just reimburse that. And so I don't really worry about the cost of the food or the gas or any of that stuff. But usually when I'm on business travel, I work really hard. I'm working from 8 till 10 or so, and there's not a lot of time to catch a baseball game or whatever you do.
Yeah. No, they would just give us a card. I remember our dealership in Atlanta, we had a gas card, which was for the gas station across the street. It was a Shell gas station. And I remember asking one time, I was like, what's the limit on this card? I was curious, and they're like, there isn't a limit on that card. I'm like, nice. I'm like, who keeps track of, how much money goes out of it? It's like, nobody keeps track of that. There's like $30,000 going in and out of there a month. I'm like, oh, okay. This means free gasoline for me forever. And that was in the time when gasoline was $4 a gallon in Atlanta. I was filling up whenever I wanted to for free. That was a great perk.
Wow.
Since we have Mrs. Woody's gamer tag here,
Oh boy.
let's go address this question.
Oh, no.
All right.
I'm nervous.
Woody is a hardcore gamer. Well, I wouldn't really say hardcore, but he plays more than an hour a night generally. And for most commentators, when they get their girlfriends on there, they say it's a bad thing. You can't you can't have a girlfriend without this, and you can kind of see where they're going toward with this. What is your perspective on video games and relationships?
Woody's wonderful in so many ways that it overcomes.
You sound just like Woody's gamer tag.
Go ahead, babe. What do you got?
What do I have? Let's see, 18 years now.
Mm-hmm.
He goes through many hobbies.
Oh no, this again.
I think he's going to die with the most hobbies, and I am, I guess, used to him getting into something and putting 110% into it, and it makes him happy, and that's really all that matters. So for us, it works. It might not work for somebody else, but for us, it works. And then he comes out of his man cave, and tonight him and Colin went walking through the woods while I went to cake decorating with my daughter. So it might not work for everybody's relationship, but we find we make it work, and we game at home. I mean, I'm waiting for my Harry Potter, Lego Harry Potter to come out. I'm a hardcore gamer too.
I love it.
I'll be getting it for the PlayStation 3 so that I do not interfere with his gaming.
I'm so
night.
psyched, right? Because she streams these movies over Netflix, and whenever these Lego games come out, she gets just flat out addicted until she owns every trophy.
Yeah.
And so she's gonna be gaming on single player games, and I'm gonna have all the house's bandwidth, and it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I will break every bit of that Lego game to pieces if you've ever played, and find everything you can find on it.
I have 10,000 achievement points on Woody's gamer tag, but if you look at where they came from, there's all this stuff from Lego Indiana Jones, Lego Star Wars, parts 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, Lego Indiana Jones 2. I've been waiting for this. Lego's Rock Band.
I didn't earn any of that stuff.
Hey,
That's
you're
awesome.
part of the band.
I'm part of the band. What's the band name?
Child supervision required.
Child Supervision Required. Yeah, that's our band. And we rock out. You guys might have heard a little Bon Jovi on my channel. Huh?
Oh yeah.
You better not be the lead singer. Oh, God.
I'm hoping he'll put together a song for me one of these days. I've never received a song.
Hey, make sure it doesn't have any high notes in it.
I could go
Yeah.
find the poem, but how long has it been since I received a poem? 18 years?
I don't know, it's been
Probably
quite
18
some
years.
time, yeah.
He was definitely trying to woo me at that point.
Woody the poet.
Yes, he does not write me poems anymore.
No, they're terrible poems, but they rhyme.
They rhyme.
A little bit better than Lil Wayne could do.
Yeah,
Oh.
right. I've got Little Wayne beat.
Stop hating on Lil Wayne. Wings is the biggest hater in the world when it comes to Lil Wayne. I don't even know why.
I'm hoping PJ puts something, a little rap I put together in that COD format.
He is. I just talked to him. Oh,
So
man.
do you have any other questions?
Wings took mine. I was curious as to how him playing video games quite as often as he does affects your relationship, because I know another commentator who's having like major issues with like his girlfriend and his YouTube channel, so much so that like one of them is trying to destroy the other and back and forth. But I guess Wings took that story.
You know,
Well, how about this? Could you give some tips on how to make it work? Because for like that, how you make them coexist together? Because they seem to be like, magnets. They just pull away from each other. You like video games. Well, you don't want to spend no time with me, and then the loneliness factor picks in, and the addiction factor picks in.
Well, one part of it is when I play, I think.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely. You usually play after 8, and of course
After 9.
you built your own cave, and then you informed me yesterday. Oh, you have to keep the door closed at all times, honey, so that the air pressure and it keeps it nice and cool, so you can't come in here. So, or
No, that's
I'm
not true.
working.
That's not true. That's not true. No. She's not telling the truth. I promise you all. Here's the truth. There's this electronics cabinet, and there are like vent holes in it, and the intake for the HVAC system is in the hallway, and then of course the vents are in each of the rooms. If the room's pressurized, then what happens is the hot air from like the computer or the PS3 or whatever blows out the vents that I built into the electronics cabinet, and it keeps the room cool. But if the door's open, then the room's not pressurized, and the hot air just kind of pours into the out of the electronics cabinet, but into the room. So what I'm trying to train her to do.
Train me.
Train.
You.
That's a bad word.
We'll talk about that later.
Condition. You want to use the word condition.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
think that one either. We'll talk to you later, Kyle.
But what we're working on is closing the door behind us, so that you don't just open the door and leave it that way, because then all the warm air rushes.
Sounds like he's talking to a puppy.
I know, right?
We want to close the door behind us.
So yeah, so I don't know. That's the man cave rule. The door has to be closed so that the hot air goes out the back instead of into the room.
Let me help the man cave out. I recently made a purchase of a Whirlpool. It's a Whirlpool, basically air conditioning window unit.
Oh,
It's-
I thought you got an actual Whirlpool. I'm
I did
"Damn,
too. I was like, that's gangster.
These got the ladies, man. How many women came over with you?
No, it's a window unit. I got it for like $70 at Lowe's, brand new. And the thing, if you turn it on, it will ice a small room like your man cave in minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to keep it on. You can keep it on. It's like it keeps track of the room's temperature, and you can set it. But that with like central air, you don't need nothing. You can keep the door wide open.
I don't think you can have it in the development.
No,
Yeah,
we
that's-
have a homeowner
that's-
association. We couldn't have a window unit
So
hanging
you-
out the front of the home.
So you're
Yeah.
buying a home, and they have rules what you can't put on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And
See, here's the thing.
The thing about homeowner associations, so a lot of people don't like them.
Nazis.
But to me, you buy what you want. One nice thing about the homeowner, it's nice that all the mailboxes match. It's nice that no one has cars in their front or backyards. It's nice that that the neighborhood is generally well kept and there's a pool and things like that. If you don't want that, if you want complete freedom to have, I don't know, a car on blocks in your front yard, then don't move into a homeowners association. You know.
Yeah.
Oh man, I couldn't do it. I'm glad I live in a trailer. Let them tell me I can't put a window unit. I will piss on the side of my house. I'm paying $150,000 for it.
Let me just say, an interesting kind of story, something similar to this. All right, basically, in the county that I live in Hart County, I'm running the line, but anyway, regardless, they came in about, I'm going to say 8 years ago, and they wanted to enact these new zoning regulations for the entire county, and they had this pamphlet that basically had all the zoning rules and regulations, and what they were going to do is try to like sweep this thing under the rug, get it passed, and like not tell anybody. Well, word got out, and you got to keep in mind this is a really agriculturally based community. I mean, like it's literally there's more chicken grown in that area than on anywhere else on the planet. That's how many poultry houses there are there, and it's like corn and wheat fields everywhere. So it's a lot of rednecks and a lot of farmers. And they were going to pass these zoning regulations, which was basically going to make the entire county a homeowners association. You know, basically it was going to be homeowner association rules for everybody. And they said, all right, we're going to have a meeting to vote on this, and it's going to be at the courthouse. There were so many people that came to the meeting, they were like, all right, we got to reschedule. This isn't going to work. So they took it to the gym of the local high school, and it still wouldn't hold everyone. There were 2,000 people there screaming for the heads of the people that were on the stage trying to push this thing through. This woman gets on stage. She's like, you don't understand. It's going to be better for everybody. Some guy in the crowd goes, kill that stupid bitch.
That would be me. I'd be like, your dog is going to disappear tonight.
No, I swear to God, there were people talk. I remember hearing this one guy say, he was like, oh, it would take somebody to get up on a hill, pop one of them son bitches in the kneecap. That'd change their damn mind. You know? They were serious, but needless to say, that did not get passed.
Nice.
It sounds like a city council meeting here in Conway.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a small town. It's an agricultural town. They're going to try to like I get the homeowner association stuff. You know, you're in a small community. You know, everybody. I get the mailboxes, but when you're out in the country, like my mailbox can have a seagull on it if I wanted to.
I mean, I don't understand that. You can't have a window unit. Is that much of an eyesore to see, like, the back of an air conditioning unit hanging out of a window? Put it on the back of the house.
We can't. And this is the front of the house.
Yeah, it wouldn't work for this room. I think you might be able to have one in the back of the house. And I've actually had one off the shop.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was never a problem. But the way the man cave is, it would be like front and center in the home, and that's not okay.
Now, the shop was one of his other hobbies, where he did fine woodworking.
Yes.
I saw that table you made. Like, I'm still impressed by that table you made.
He made my bedroom set.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Sounds like a cheapskate.
No.
No, I saw, after seeing what Woody made, I would rather have what Woody made than, something from IKEA. Like, that was nice.
Yeah, man, it's solid cherry. It's,
Son, you paid like $2,000 for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Dovetail joints.
Oh, yeah. I take my time and I do everything the best it can be done.
Yeah, I need to upload a picture of my bed one day because my dad made my bed 5 or 6 years ago, and he took he basically cut down 2 cedar trees and made the bed, and it's beautiful. It's amazing.
That's really cool. Hey, I had a subscriber come to me today. I don't know, for some reason Kyle's bed inspired me to bring this one up.
Okay.
He wants to know about a good first date idea. So he's a teenager. I don't think he drives yet. And he said not the movies. So what do you got?
My first date was a shooting range.
Oh, my
All right,
my God.
next.
You're a
Next.
geezer.
Hey,
All right, let me.
Hey, I'm from the north, so, that wouldn't
You want to find something that she's interested in. If she's, it just depends on her personality. If she's the kind of girl that likes laser tag, that's where you go. But I mean, if it were me and I just had to guess, just go out and have a nice meal and maybe go to the park and hang out and talk or something.
shooting
But
range.
Don't take her to the shooting range.
Let me revise it. This was a good plan. For one, most girls that are that age have never shot a gun,
This is
and
a
most
good
of them
plan.
love. Most of them are scared of guns. If you go there and you let them shoot it, they shoot it the first time like pow, and they start laughing. They're like,
Yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to scare her.
no, you don't want to scare her. you want to give her an experience. You know, shooting a gun, it's, like I've said before, but like, what was the other guy's name we had on the podcast?
Pone Star
Yeah,
for
Pone
Hire.
Star for Hire, yeah. It's an experience you have. All that power at one time. It's like driving a car for the first time. You press the gas and all that power is just like a rush of adrenaline. And it's an experience, and it's an experience most young girls haven't had because like nowadays, even in the South, you know, young girls don't shoot guns.
You know, you're kind of selling me on this. I don't know if it would ever be the idea that bubbles up to the very top. But
we're not taking her deer
true.
hunting. We're going in-store shooting range.
Yeah, there's something true about, taking a gun and shooting it and like, I don't want to say I'm all caught up in the power like some sort of crazy person. My wife's looking at me like I am indeed.
Wait. Stop right there. So you want Hope's first date with some guy to take her to the gun range?
When you put it that way, it's a ridiculously bad idea.
There you go.
No. But you got to say this way. It's a controlled environment.
Good idea.
Mini golf is a great idea. You can talk, you can walk.
That's why I suggested bowling. Because like the thing about movies is it's kind of two people who do something independently. I mean, there's no talking. That I guess
That's
you
why
can
it's
hold
perfect.
hands or something. And
Frisbee golf.
who knows what Kyle does in movies?
That all depends on what girl you go take with too. Some girls like laser tag. Some girls like getting handsy at the movies.
Tell you
Who
what.
are these girls?
Tell you what. If you sit-
I mean,
if you sit-
I'm a clean cut guy, and I've took a girl to the
I've seen
movies,
you
and
not clean
she
cut. You have an
surprised
Abraham
me
Lincoln
where her
beard.
hands went. I was like,
if you sit in the back row at the movies, there's no limit to what you can do. Let me just say that. But it just like, how old is this guy? If this guy's like 15, I'm not going to tell him to go like bang a girl in the movies or something. But like, all right, like I said, like go eat somewhere. I mean, if you're 15, like go to Applebee's or something. Like don't blow your all the money you spent raking leaves for like 3 months, because next week she's going to want to go to Applebee's again. And just do something where you can talk to her, and you're going to have to be able to carry on a conversation. That, or as I've mentioned before, roofies.
I could tell you what not to do. Don't scare her like they thought I was trying to do, and don't take her to the field to drink. That's a popular pastime here with young kids. The pastime here with young
and getting her drunk was one of his ideas.
No, seriously.
No, but that's down here.
I
That's
haven't
people's
even-
idea of a good
No,
time.
he did not.
Bud Light in the field.
That's not good. No, ice cream. Go get ice cream.
No
Ice
girl's
cream
going
on the
to. All right, no
boardwalk.
15-year-old girl is going to eat ice cream in front of a guy.
Why not?
What?
Not the kind that I date. I like them about 85 pounds and starving.
Oh, so you see those Sally
kidding.
Field commercials and
I'm
you get
just kidding.
excited.
I'm just kidding.
The Ethiopian women with
Yeah.
the bugs in their eyes. That's Kyle's babe.
I want them to have collages in their closet of like pigs and stuff, and that they stare at night and chant. Like No.
My idea was bowling. I thought bowling had the same sort of thing that mini golf does, in that you can kind of hang out together. It's not competitive like paintball would be, where there's some like pain and some ass kicking to be done. Bowling.
Yes.
I know.
Like, look, if I'm on a date and if I was a girl and my partner went like 68 in bowling, I wouldn't really hold it against him. It's bowling. He's not a bowler. It's okay.
Same thing with mini golf.
Same thing with mini golf. Yeah, like I'm not evaluating his like athletic prowess by his mini golf score. So it to me seemed like a cool idea for getting to know someone and building a vibe.
Well, with all this in effect, we're talking about the pink elephant here. Jerk off before you go on the date.
Oh God, Wings! Like, come on. Why did
This is key advice, because you want her to learn your personality. You don't want to go through the first 2 or 3 dates with like a semi-hard on, and your mind's like in a one-track
How
bind.
old are you that you can't have a conversation with a woman? All right. Wings,
It's
are you okay
easier.
right now?
It's easier if you're not turned on.
Hey, honey, welcome to the podcast.
Yes. By the way, I went to an all-girl Catholic high school. Thanks, Wings. I didn't know any of these things.
Oh,
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
She's a virgin.
God, I just got the greatest mental image.
Hey, Woody, am I not saying what's true? Am I telling you the truth?
Actually, I think throughout most of my life, I was able to play mini golf and keep it in check.
Yeah, right. I'm not even gonna tell guys what to do to 15-year-old girls.
No, yeah. Kyle. Yeah, stop at roofies.
Yeah. I mean, I was
know
hanging
my-
out with a girl, an 18-year-old girl the other night, and
Oh, God. Hey, do we need a new topic?
Or maybe look away from the screen, walk around a little bit, look outside, because outside actually has colors.
And good graphics.
Yes, and light streaming in. You know, the yellows, the greens. It's amazing out there. Come outside.
Yeah.
And join the rest
Have you
of the
seen
world.
my grass? The browns.
Yeah, I've seen it. Have you seen the trash cans?
Why is your grass
outside?
dying already? It's summer.
We don't have grass. We don't have grass.
That's people say, you know, where do you get the time to do this? Where do you get the? I cut corners in lawn care.
Did you put AstroTurf down?
I wish. Now you're talking.
It's just weed. I would like Curb Appeal to come to our house and redo the entire yard.
That'd be nice.
Come on, buddy. You gonna tell me the morbidly obese white guy has a better looking lawn than you?
Quite possibly. Yeah.
tell you what you can do. This is I went through this with my lawn, and this is what I did. You can get sod, and most people think sod is like incredibly expensive to have, you know, but it's $75 a pallet, and a pallet covers like it covers
whole
an
yard?
area. Well, no, I mean a
It'll do
pallet
2.5
covers-
acres easy.
No. I don't know what kind of pallet you're talking about. All
Yeah,
right.
gosh darn, that's a hell of a pallet.
Yeah, that's like a tractor trailer load. All right, a pallet.
When you say pallet, I'm thinking like 80 bags.
No, I'm talking about sod, like already like cut chunks of grass, like in dirt with the roots
Do you know
and
what
everything. You just
sod
lay it down.
is?
No, I don't. I thought I'd be thinking about turf build.
No. I'm talking about sod. It comes in like pallets that you would pick up with a forklift, and they cover enough area to maybe park 2 cars on, I would say. And they're $75 each, and so you know you're going to end up spending quite a bit of money, a couple $1,000, $3,000, depending on how big your yard is. But putting it down is the most expensive part if you don't know what you're doing. And what I did, this may be offend somebody. I got 8 Mexicans, and you want 4 Mexicans per pallet, and you want to keep them working. You need a big cooler of Gatorade, and you get your whole yard done in a day, man, for about $4,000. My yard look.
Here's
My
the
yard
trouble
looks
with
like-
that. I could go in and buy sod, and my yard would look gorgeous for a day or two, and then I wouldn't maintain it because I don't maintain grass.
It's resilient.
And if I wanted, green grass, if I wanted the yard to be green like that, I could just take the cash and mulch it into the dirt, and then it would be green.
No,
if you're not going to maintain it, then just,
You don't have to maintain this stuff. It's like the sod is like the sod like drowns out every other weed and other like crabgrass. It just kills it. Like it doesn't let it get light. My whole yard is my yard looks like a Augusta golf course.
But you water it, right?
No,
I don't
it's
water
fine
it.
on its own.
Let me tell you what I do to my yard. I let the bitch grow, and then I cut it. There's no watering. There's none of that shit. And it still looks fantastic.
Mine, when all the weeds are the same height, it doesn't look too bad.
Ah, nice.
Yes.
You know, I actually don't have weeds. I have that shit that comes in from the road that they put in the ditch banks to, like, kill bugs and shit. You know, that silly grass.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about? That shit that itches you when you get it on your skin?
I don't really roll in the grass anymore. I'm like 25 years old.
You never walk around your yard barefoot?
Yeah, but there's like broken beer bottles out there, so I watch my step. Not really.
It's like he just mentioned a golf course. He likes a golf course.
Hey, you know what story I've been waiting for Wings to tell?
What?
You were the lead singer in a death metal band?
Yeah, it's not a band. People have asked me this. It wasn't a major band. It's not like we went on tour or anything.
Oh,
It
I
was a garage
understand that.
band.
But what did you play? Did you play bars? Or did you just-
Basically, we played one bar. We played rods and rolls,
Uh-huh.
and we did it like every Thursday night when we were in high school.
Oh, so one bar, I had this impression it was one gig, but no, you did it for some period of time.
We did it for like 2 months before we broke up, and we were basically a cover band. We do like AC/DC kind of stuff, and we do it in death metal. We did like War Machine. You've heard War Machine, right, from Kiss?
No, I haven't. But I know some AC/DC songs like Thunderstruck, right? And
We did Back in Black from AC/DC, and You Shook Me All Night Long.
you did. How would "Shook Me All Night Long" in death metal go?
Let me think of the lyrics real quick.
You shook me all
Uh,
night
try to start-
long.
I'm trying to start from the beginning.
All right.
The first message you got the motor clean was a big damn woman that I ever seen. She had disguised, and made all lies, knocking me out with those American died. Down the cow, golden sir. You know,
Nice. So,
all night long. You know, shit like that.
And now I'll have nightmares.
did you play an instrument, Wings?
No, I didn't. I do play an instrument, but it has nothing to do with a death metal band.
It's a banjo, isn't it?
No, it's a violin. I was the second chair going up through high school in orchestra.
Just go get your violin.
Oh, please do.
I actually don't own it no more.
Oh my god.
So, wow, this is quite the
Wait a
the
minute.
range, though. You go
Yeah, I
ahead.
know. I mean, from violin
To death metal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you never watch my videos, I have a wide range of music I listen to.
I have really only watched Pyro.
Wow.
And,
Paul's out there.
I'll put like Johnny Cash on my thing, then I'll put like, All That Remains, then I'll go like Rupert Holmes, then I'll put like DMX.
We were talking the other day how we liked Elton John, and how like I was thinking like how all of our
Hey,
like
Kyle, you
14
know how I know you're gay?
I was about to say we're saying how like all of our 14-year-old subscribers would be like, ugh, fag, but Elton John's got like one of the greatest voices of all time.
Yeah, he does. It doesn't get much better than Rocket Man unless William Shatner singing it.
Goodbye, England's Rose.
I saw him
Guys-
live.
You saw Elton John live?
I did.
Was he dressed like a duck?
No, he was
When I saw him, he was wearing a
Billy
pink bow.
Joel singing.
He was with Billy Joel.
Mhm.
Nice.
It's probably one of the only few concerts I've gone to.
Yeah, I've only
And
been
how-
to a couple as well. I went to a Dead concert and a Steve Miller concert. And
I don't know if you noticed how the reason I became the lead singer is because I'm the only person that could even closely baritone growl, and we were all into like Cannibal Corpse during that period of time.
Into what? Cannibals?
Cannibal Corpse.
Is that people that eat other people?
No, it's one of the death metal bands that are real known. They did Hammer Smash Face, which we did a rendition of that as well.
Was that popular in the South?
No, it's
No.
not. It's actually
Face?
No, it
it's
was
actually-
not.
We were all grooving to Hammer Smash Face and Ice Ice Baby back in the day.
Yeah, I know.
You got to be doing it right. You got to be like Hammer Smash.
I forget what really
Yeah.
I forgot.
No, I don't know what part of this. Wings is in South Carolina. I'm in Georgia, and when I was
it's
in high
actually
school,
only popular over in Europe.
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much like what most of the people listen to here was like like they wanted some George Strait, they wanted some George Strait and some Tim McGraw.
Nice.
They weren't growling.
They weren't growling.
That's disturbing every time I hear that.
So, all musical tastes. Aside from Elton John, what are you listening to, Kyle?
Dude, I literally listen to everything. I think it says in my profile under music, like everything from Pavarotti to Eminem. Like I listened to Ave Maria today, and I was like that song almost makes me cry. I love that song. Eva Maria. I love that song.
Oh man, you
I know
cannot
you're
do
gay.
it.
I mean, like
I'm not
Celine-
even gonna try to do it because I can't do it.
Yeah, like it takes somebody with an amazing voice, like Pavarotti or a Celine Dion. Like I said, like I like Elton John. I like country. Like I like the old school country, like Merle Haggard, David Allan Coe, Waylon
Don't mind the
Jennings.
dick that fucks you, honey.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a classic. Definitely Johnny Cash. Everything Johnny Cash is ever done. Like even I hate new country because it's basically pop with a country accent. It's
I
disgusting.
hate Taylor
So,
Swift.
wait a minute. Does that mean you don't like pop?
I don't like
Not-
pop.
Some pop is okay, but like that Justin Bieber kid, I hope he's in a car accident and burns alive.
Hope he hits an Argon tanker.
What does
Yeah,
he sing,
yeah.
this kid?
I don't know what he sings. He's disgusting though, and the whole like fangirlishness for that kid is disgusting. Like I don't understand what I know a lot about teenage girls, and I
my
don't know
gosh.
how they, And they all like this kid. I'm like, yeah, but he doesn't have a Corvette. And they're like, yeah, you're right. But no, seriously, like, I don't get it. I don't know why people like this goofy little kid. But, and I like Taylor Swift, actually. I like,
Oh, yeah, I like Taylor Swift.
Me too. Dixie Chicks.
Dixie Chicks, Sin Wagon.
not the Dixie Chicks, they're traitors to our country. Let's see, who
What
else?
would you say about Dixie Chicks?
They're traitors.
I don't like Sarah Evans either. Fuck Sarah Evans.
I like Jodie Messina.
Oh, that other one. Oh, God. I can't think of her name.
Okay.
I'm a big, like, we were talking about rap the other day, and, like, Wings' horrible hate for, Lil Wayne, who, like, I couldn't name a Lil Wayne song, to be honest. I got no clue, but, like,
What?
I like Eminem. I like Eminem a lot. Like,
Yeah.
I've always liked the stuff he does, and, like, if you listen to the lyrics, it's pretty impressive, I think. I really like Eminem. And, I mean, there's really not much music I don't listen to, it except for that, what Wings did a little while ago. I don't like that.
Brad
Well,
Paisley.
I could get you into that guy if you believe it or not. I
No,
could throw
okay.
some songs out there. I mean,
No.
most people don't give it a chance. They don't.
Rammstein-
What are we
Rammstein-
talking about? What did Wings do? He's done a bunch of things. Oh, that thing?
That's not cool.
Yeah,
How
that's
did he
not
get
coming
the
my
same
way.
words?
He's-
I could get you believe it or not. I could get all of y'all into that if you gave me if you opened your mind and gave it the chance.
Yeah, dude, I'm like 100 years old. My mind's not open.
That's the problem with most people. They don't give music a chance. It's like I will listen to like knee slapping bluegrass. I will give it a chance every time I hear it. I'll be like, hey,
I like bluegrass. In
What's
the
funny?
big rock candy mountains, all the lakes are filled with wine. I like that shit.
well, there's a big holler tree round the wedges from
I
me.
like it. I like the banjos and the fiddles. I love that shit. Like,
I love some Grandpa Joe now. That's a legend.
Oh Brother, Where Art Thou had a soundtrack. I've got it. I love it.
Yeah, for me, what I'm listening to depends a lot on how work is going. Like, if work is smooth, or maybe I'm not working at all, I'm headed off to go play ice hockey or something like that, then I want the music rocking. It could be Eminem, it could be, some
Come
classic
on,
rock
we
like
hear your
AC/DC.
voice. We hear your voice. You listen to Rat, Poison, and like Winger.
I do listen to Poison sometimes. And, who's the other one? The Helicopters, that I'm in the band. But, if on the other hand, like if I'm coming home from a full day at work, it's got to be country. The last thing I need is somebody yelling at me. Let's keep it hype. Let's little Taylor Smith or Taylor Swift. Thank you.
Old man. Brad Paisley.
Brad Paisley, he's so funny. He got a song where he buys Cuban cigars he can hardly afford, and then puts out an insurance claim on them because they were destroyed in 25 small fires.
Wow.
It sounds like a bad song in my book.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
See, the thing with metal music, the way you got into it, I didn't like metal music when I first heard it. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? They growling? I think the first song I ever heard was like a Black Sabbath song covered by Cannibal Corpse. I used to make fun of it. And then you make fun of it enough, it's like, man, I actually like this song now. Most of it's just fight music. That's what it is. It's fight. Either most of the lyrics are based off either satanic, fighting, or empowering you. Like Hatebreed does a lot of empowering music, Most people are like, well, he's just screaming. No, he's actually trying to be positive. And, the best way to put out positivity in young kids is to rage on the emotion of anger. No,
this is good parenting advice. So
We're going to use this.
Yeah, so let me help Jackie and I here. The best way to bring out positive emotions in kids is to funnel a lot of anger at them.
No, you basically you basically cue into their anger. Your anger is your most strong emotion you have. It will always overweigh everything else, even overweigh reason. For example, if somebody was to come into your house and slap your wife, anger would overrate your reason. Say this guy was Kimbo Slice and he slapped Jackie. You're going to fight him. Your mind's telling you can't beat this guy. You don't want to fight this guy, but your anger is going to overpower that, and that's the whole idea of like positive metal, like with Hatebreed and like Sworn Enemy. And on the flip side of that, you have the satanic mess, which is I never understood satanic anyway. The reason is you have to believe in Christian religion to believe in your religion. So if another religion doesn't exist, your religion doesn't exist. How does that work?
Well, I didn't follow you there. So to be any other religion, you have to believe in
No,
Christianity.
being a satanic person.
Okay.
Your whole religion is based off another religion being correct.
Okay.
It's basically like you know how the story's supposed to end. Like you're going for the bad. It'd be like watching Star Wars and then like go if you're going to live it in real life and being like, yeah, I'm going to join up with that Darth Vader guy. I think it's going to work out just fine. Like no, like it's not. You've seen the ending. You know how it goes. You know that's the bad
I'm
guy.
getting on Khan's ship, dog. He's going to whoop Shatner's butt.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to work out, buddy. Like my opinion is most of the people who are like into the satanic stuff, they're either one weird little kids that want to be friends with somebody, so they made a little club, or I think the FBI did a study at one point. They found that there was absolutely no satanic ritual involved with crimes in the United States or something like that. They couldn't discover one case of satanic ritual.
What about that guy that's the United States, I'm about to say. That guy that in Toronto that Rickshaw always keeps talking about that cut the guy's head off in the bus and ate his liver.
Well, I mean, sometimes you need a midday snack. What do you mean?
I mean, that's just a protein fix.
Yeah.
I mean,
eat his liver, huh?
I see that. I'm like, how can the other 30-some patrons on the bus not stop him from cutting a guy's head off?
Yeah, all I'm going to say is that dude's lucky that Epic Beard Man wasn't there. That would have.
He's lucky I wasn't there. If he pulled a knife out to go cut another guy's head, that's a reason for me to use my pistol.
His anger would overrule,
Any sense of
Oh, no, that's not anger.
That was joy.
That would be joy.
Hey, I have
Like, hot damn, this is what I've been waiting for. Come on, get a little closer.
You don't have any practice rounds I've fired?
You know how much money I spent on centerfire cartridges? This day has been waiting.
Yeah. Hey, so we're coming up on an hour here, but I've got one more. Dream jobs. So, let's go Kyle, Jackie, Wings, and Meat. Kyle, what's your dream job?
I would like to work somewhere in the gaming industry, like something either doing some kind of promotions, working brainstorming for a gaming company, Treyarch, or something sort of like what Hutch does at Machinima, something like that. Like that would be my dream job. Like the income is just kind of like a secondary thing. Like it's that's all fine and good, but like the actual work itself would be the real reward from a job like that.
You know, Kyle, you'd be good at that job.
I know.
Like it, it's your humility that's going to really serve you.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, like you have a broad gaming background, right? You're not just a first-person shooter guy. You're a role-playing guy. You're whatever, and you're well-spoken, and you could relate to people. I think you'd be good at that.
I think you're confusing Kyle with me.
Oh my god, whatever. What I would like to do, like seriously, is like just brainstorming. I'd love to be able to like sit down at a table with a pen and a pad with like 3 or 4 other like designers and development team and be like, all right, could we do this? Could we do that? How could we balance this? And just talk about that stuff for hours. That's what I'd love to do.
All right, Jackie.
I'd be willing to relocate.
Mrs. Woody's gamer tag.
Mrs. Woody's gamer. I'm already living the dream, being Mrs. Woody's gamer tag. Being the mother of your children. If I could do something else when they were out of the house or nest, I guess I would like to dabble in jewelry making.
Mm-hmm.
Or write a children's story. I got a lot of things cooking in this head.
I got a question.
But a little shout out to Shane.
If Call of Duty made a Legos game, would you own at it?
I would.
Yeah, she'd be like Pwn in Legos.
I
Lego
played
Warfare 2.
Lego Batman on the PSP. Didn't like that one as much, but I've played basically every Lego game out there.
Yeah, even the Rock Band version.
Yes.
Yeah, and in some cases you've played the same one on different platforms. Like you got all the Xbox trophies, and then you rolled and got the PSP version of the same game.
No.
No?
No.
Wait.
What?
Indiana Jones. You don't have that for both.
No, I just had the demo. Just played that once.
The one Colin constantly asks for help with.
Oh no, that's on the DS.
Oh, Right.
That's his on the DS.
Okay.
So no.
All right, so Wings, dream job.
This is going to come as a shock. Homicide detective.
Homicide detective.
I thought he was going to say Mrs. Woody's gamertag.
Why?
I love puzzle games, and I see a murder case is the biggest puzzle you could solve. You know, I just like that kind of stuff. I know, but a lot of it probably be cut and dry. Well, he entered through the window that's broken right here. Shot the guy from here, but I like that. I like that kind of stuff. I like seeing dead bodies.
For all you ladies out there.
Oh, man. So if you ladies out there would like to go on a cool date, we're going to go to the firing range, and later on I'm going to get to see what I love the most, a dead body. So come on. Wow. It's disturbing.
Nice. So
What about you, Woody?
You know, I've been thinking this for a while. I want to be Mr. Woody's gamertag. No, if I owned a business that was a dating site or something like that, I would totally love that. If I could connect people, it's something I enjoy. I used to think I actually worked out the economics and why I don't do it of a speed dating service. I would totally love it if I had 30 guys and 30 gals who had a hard time.
Wait. I'm sorry. Let me interrupt you. We don't go out on dates. And you want to get other people together for dates?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds great, honey. I'll support you any way I can.
So, that would be a really cool deal to me. And I'm not going out on dates. It's not going out on dates, baby. It's like Master of Ceremonies.
Come on, Woody, hook her up. Tell her you don't make every girl in the world tables and bedroom sets. Just her.
Thanks.
I don't know.
That was really
I'm
helpful. Do more. Do another one. You got any more?
I don't like the way this is sounding. I think Woody should be having a date night, at least every couple weeks.
I think we should have a date night at the conclusion of this call. A little shout out to my nephew if he's listening.
Yes.
Hey, Shane.
Hey, Shane.
I don't know where that went from. So what's the logistics?
Subscribers is my nephew.
I got to say this though. Remember the time where we tried to hook people up to play together on the video games?
Works.
And how it didn't work out because they would
worked.
keep erasing people's names off
No,
the
Woody
list.
fixed that.
Yeah, I fixed that. No, man, I have had. You don't know how many success stories I've had. I've had this on my channel right now. Guys are like, "Oh, we joined up. We played Cap the Flag. We rolled all day long, and I owe it to you."
But these are guys.
Yeah, these were all guys. In
Yeah.
this situation.
So you can help any guy find his perfect match.
No, I
A
work for
gay
girls,
dating
too.
service. Now we got it.
Yeah. No, connecting people and this is a big need.
I got your name,
People
buddy.
have
Your
holes
name
in
could
them.
be orifice.com.
People have needs to get together. There's a primal desire. I heard Joe Rogan do this thing about you put a guy in prison, and he's surrounded by murderers and rapists and violent offenders, and the way you really punish him is you make him go in solitary and you put him there all by himself. It's
Bullshit.
hard to be by yourself. To grab people and find suitable pairs and join them up together, there's a lot of satisfaction in that. And if there was a good support your family type living in it, then I would totally love that.
Well, how couldn't there be? eHarmony and a place like that has to be a success, or they wouldn't
That's
have clones.
Kind of like saying, .coms make good money because YouTube did. And, there are sites out there like eHarmony, Plenty of Fish, or whatever.
Match.com.
Match.com. Yeah. But Adult Friend Finder.
Create a cartoon that just looks like Woody.
Other than bandwidth cost, how much upkeep couldn't one of those sites actually have? You set up the template, and it pretty much runs itself, doesn't it?
I think the real problem there is developing the critical mass. That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
You've heard of eHarmony, but you haven't heard of Woody's House of Hotties or whatever.
Woody's House of Hotties.
So the first few hundred people who sign up, there's going to find no one.
Yep.
You got to build a client base of several thousand before you're actually going to be able to make any meaningful matches.
Yes, exactly.
Now, is there a way to match people up on Facebook? Does Facebook have some kind of
People meet each other through. Kyle, I think you're going to be a resident expert on this. How do you pick up girls on Facebook?
I don't think I should share that information.
Do you really have something?
Yeah, I don't think I want to share that with. We have younger viewers. It's just I'm going to end up in some.
He doesn't want to become a racist tutor. I mean, I'm a rapist tutor.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's pretty easy. And I may get a call from Chris Hansen or something. I don't want to be involved. I don't want to talk about that.
So I know a guy.
The key is Bud Light and a young girl that can't buy Bud Light.
Oh my god!
I know a guy, not a young guy. He's an older guy, and he says that meeting women on Facebook is just like meeting women anywhere else. You know, you find someone, they're kind of a match. You strike up a conversation, and it's not unlike meeting them in person. But Kyle seems to have a more devious plan that involves roofies.
Well, I mean, honestly, what you want to do, you want to go for the spaghetti effect. You throw a handful of spaghetti at the wall, something's going to stick. And that's the beauty of the internet. You can copy and paste the same message 100 times and send it out in a matter of an hour. So you basically sent, this sentence, this idea, this message to 100 people. And then you're gonna have like 30 of them will message you back, and among those 30, they'll be receptive to the second message, and among those, it lowers down, and you'll have sex with 4 of them. So it works out.
All right. Dating by Kyle.
It is 100% true. I can see that working.
.com or Facebook.
It's the same thing I was saying when people on my channel say, "Oh, I'm a fat virgin." I'm like, dude, you really think I haven't found a person as big as me and that's depressed that wouldn't have sex with me? Hell no. Come on.
There's people
Girls have much lower self-esteem than you think.
There's somebody perfect for everybody, and Wings' ideal match is someone heavy with low self-esteem.
No, someone who likes to go to the rifle range.
And look at dead bodies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there might be someone out there who would like that.
My perfect match would be somebody that actually played video games.
Nah, I don't want somebody to hang out with anyway. I'm looking for someone with low self-esteem that I can manipulate using that. That's what you're really going for.
But you got after the sex is over, you got to be able to live with them. For
you don't.
Example, yeah, you do. You don't have a marriage for like 15 years and not be able to live with a person.
I had a girl living with me for like 3 months one time. I made her sleep in the other bedroom while I played video games. I'm like, no, I'm playing video games tonight. She's like, fuck.
Yeah, and that's probably why she only stayed 3 months and not 15 years.
No, I kicked her out.
We feel your pain, Kyle.
Oh.
He's hiding it very well.
Yeah, Kyle. You're obviously suffering
nice
inside. Are you okay, baby? Are you all right?
Oh yeah, I'm solid.
I just couldn't hang out with somebody like that. Other commentators having trouble. People that just don't like what you're doing, think it should be all about them. I couldn't deal with a girl like that.
So to me, part of a wife's job and part of a husband's job is the influence that you have on your partner and how they feel about themselves. You're there to support the other one. You're there to be a team. Someone who's, I don't know, your other half. And not to say that you're not a complete person on your own, but your backup. When you're in an Xbox lobby and some jackass says something, but you have 5 friends and you can't lose that argument, your wife is that too. Your wife is that person who sees the good in you, who makes you feel like more than you did before. And the husband hopefully fills that same role. So, anyway, that's part of the job there. I forgot how I got on the topic.
We got on the topic because Kyle's based around the sex, and I was talking about the relationship aspect of it. You got to have a person you're going to like, because beauty only lasts 5 to 10 years maximum. The person you live with.
Thanks a lot. It's been 18 years. Right to the heart.
I still hit it.
Thank you, honey.
But that's not the fact. But the fact is, if you're going to marry somebody, you got to marry for personality over looks, because looks is going to be a small portion of it throughout the rest of your life.
I don't know. It just depends on
old people don't stay together because he thinks his wife is hot. He knows his wife isn't hot. He loves her for her personality.
Now, all right. Just to be clear, we're not referring to Mrs. Gamertab, because I saw a video of you and you're very lovely.
Thank you.
Yes, you give us the vapors.
What?
Just vapors.
I don't know what that means.
The
Just say
vapors.
she's very lovely.
Oh,
That's
yeah, it's very southern.
But We're not talking about. We're not trying to put an age on it, but that was just. It was a
right.
point.
You know, we definitely we have our own interests, and he's right now interested in gaming, and it's been quite a while now. And then, you know, who knows what he might be interested in next. I have my own interests as well. So I don't need him to entertain me. And he doesn't need me to entertain him.
Now, what do you think about girls that do need the guy to entertain them? What is wrong with them? What are they doing wrong?
I don't think they just might not be the right fit for each other. You know, you have to be okay with who you are.
Yeah. I think part of being a good partner is being a full person, right? I mean, it shouldn't be 1 + 1 = 1. There should be 2 there. And you owe it to your mate to be like a full-service, complete person who can stand on their own and, add more to the other one.
Nice.
That sounds
All right, guys. Well, that's Painkiller already, episode 9.
Very good.
I keep getting older, but they stay the same.
All right. PlayStation and pizza in the parking lot. All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
I stopped recording just at the end there. So I thought that went well.
Yeah.
I think that's our best one.
That's a good one.
Right. Sure.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
think
really,
I
really,
know
that was a really
wouldn't
good
be
one.
Wings to Lie.
Right?
He wouldn't, yeah.
No,
like-
if it was bad, Wings would be like, God, Jackie, you really dropped the bomb there.
Oh my God, yeah. No, we all have our flaws, but lying is not one of Wings' flaws.
I suck at lying. It's very easy to tell when I'm lying.
I actually have a airsoft gun that I use on occasion outside for target practice.
I have 46 weapons, and some of them are fully automatic.
Well, mine are to shoot the cats that come in the backyard, but I didn't really want to put
Mine
that
are
out there.
too.
I don't actually hit any of them.
That's an awesome reply. That's so funny. Mine are too.
Hey, I caught a damn tomcat on my truck when I just bought it. Oh, man, he didn't stay alive too long.
Really?
Most people set poison out, not me. 22 rifle, super subsonic bullets.
Hey,
Wow.
is it a 22 rifle is quiet, right? Like
Yeah, you put
you can
subsonic
fire
bullets.
one in a subdivision.
Yeah, you can if you use like a Mountain Dew bottle and put it over the muzzle. Good to go.
I've heard them in the range. Some of them are just like they sound like noob tubes in Modern Warfare.
You know, most people won't even recognize it's a gun going off.
Or, I mean, if you got the money, I'll tell you what is. Oh God, what the hell is that? Oh, a beetle just flew in my window and hit me in the head.
You don't want to use a 30 caliber rifle on a cat because it'll blow it apart and it's hard to clean up. 22 will kill it. You can sling it in the back of the truck.
It's like the scene from Boondock Saints. Remember when he accidentally shoots the cat?
Man, I wish I was still recording. This is some good stuff.
He goes, "What the fuck was that?" He like blows the cat into the wall. I always feel bad when
Yeah,
I
I
see
swear the next gun I get would be one I could shoot in the backyard if I really wanted to.
Here's what I would do for your next gun. Get a Ruger 22 Mark. I guess it's a Mark III now target pistol with like a bull barrel, the heavy barrel, and you can have a silencer put on it for about $600, and it's about a $350 pistol. So it's expensive. It's a $1,000 pistol.
Everything
But-
you say is expensive.
You're talking to Scrooge McDuck.
Is that one of
All
those
right.
wet and dry silencers that you got to put water in and shake it up?
No. It's no. It's you can go either way. The where I sent mine, they actually build it into the barrel. So the barrel, there's no the barrel doesn't like go down and it's skinny and then it gets big where the silencer is. The barrel is all one size. It just looks like you've got a big bull barrel on the pistol.
Does it?
And when you
Let me
Go ahead.
interrupt. Does that kind of silencer require a special license?
Yeah, dude.
it's a tax thing. It's $300. That's most of the cost of the silencer is that you've got to pay like a $300 tax.
See, I'm stuck. I think in North Carolina, to get a silencer, you need the same license you do to get full auto.
You do, but they take care of that at the gun store.
Hey, Woody, here's a little fact you need to know. Down here in the South, if you own more than 10 acres, you can fire your gun on your property and nobody can say anything.
That has to be state by state.
Well, anyway, the pistol, when you shoot it, it makes about the same amount of noise as dry firing a pistol would make. You know, the click of the firing pin is
Really?
literally the only noise. You could be literally walking in a coffee shop and shoot someone in the head, if you had the pistol like concealed on your arm, and no one would ever know. They would just think the guy had a heart attack or something. I swear to you.
It's a 22, you say?
Yeah.
Why is this appealing to you? Your eyes lit up. You're so excited. Like, oh my god, no one would hear me kill something. Yay.
Because the kitty cats would die off in the dozens.
What do you say?
The kitty cats would die off in the dozens.
Dude, I hate a cat on my paint job, dude. I just paid, $20,000 for that, and you going to get on my paint job because you wanted a nice hot hood? Hell no, that ain't happening.
No, but seriously, I know a guy who's got a bolt-action 22 rifle, and it's got a silencer on it, and it's the same thing. He'll sit in his backyard, and there'll be like blackbirds on the power line in his backyard, and normally when you shoot a gun, they just fly off, and you only get to shoot one. He'll sit there and pick them all off. They're just falling.
So the rest of
the birds are like looking at each other. The birds are like looking at each other like, what the hell happened to him? Because they're just falling off. They're just falling off one by one. It's a lot of fun to shoot the silenced guns. I've seen a 30 caliber rifle shot with a silencer, and it sounds about as loud as a 22 rifle unsilenced. I've seen an MP5 silenced, full auto, and they're really fun to shoot. They really are.
Well, most silenced weapons are pretty loud.
Save yourself all that money and just click that link. That's what I do.
Probably a homemade silencer that's gonna blow up in your face and shoot pieces of PVC at you.
No, you just take a fucking Mountain Dew bottle, cut off the bottom, and tape it onto the muzzle.
It doesn't work that well.
It works fantastically well. I can shoot it in my backyard all day, and they will never say a damn thing to me.
But it's hard to aim when you've got that on there.
It is hard to aim when you got that on there.
All right, let me line up the cap of this bottle with the bird.
Are you following the link too, Kyle?
But see, I got a scope on my 22, so it goes over it.
Okay, well that's good then.
But I want to say some of these, like a 22 rifle, are really quiet, just out of the box.
They are.
They're pretty loud. I mean,
no, they're not. 22 pistol is loud. A rifle is not.
Yeah, I swear I've seen 22 rifles at the range that just sort of they sound muffled. They're really quiet.
22 pistol's loud because the breech opens up after you hit the fire pin. The rifle is all concealed, especially if it's bolt action, because it only has one place to go to, and the sound doesn't make it through it.
I thought it was because the gunpowder was fully burnt before it left the barrel. Like that was a bit. That's why carbines are so loud, and full length rifles that are exactly the same in every other way are so much quieter.
That might be correct.
Mm.
But 22 rifle is silent as shit. I mean, hold it one hand. I bet Jackie could hold it one hand and shoot a 22 rifle.
Yeah.
Of course. Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, I shot him in the Boy Scouts, and there's nothing to it.
Yeah, I mean, like in my room right now, like I mean, I've said this before. There's two 22 pistols and 9mm. I'm looking at an arsenal right now, and like these 22 rifles are super quiet. But it just depends on what kind of setup you've got. Like if a gun's got a muzzle brake on it, God, they're loud. My cousin's got a 300 Magnum with a muzzle brake, and it'll deafen you.
Covered with ammo?
What's a muzzle brake?
Muzzle brake is like the front of the Barrett 50 caliber. It has that triangular piece. What it does is it takes the gas from the bullet after it ejects off the rifle and ejects it off the sides of the gun to lessen the recoil.
Oh yeah, there's something like some of the Glocks have that, but they call it a compensated. Is what they call it.
Yeah, compensator.
Yeah, the Thompson has it as well.
Your son.
Makes it loud as fuck.
Yeah. Oh, and there's flash too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
Oh, okay.
Who's that?
Yeah, which one of you is
That's
cocking
Wings
your
playing with a
rifle?
gun.
Oh man,
Who's cycling the action on that?
I was popping the clip in and out.
Okay.
Oh man, that's not safe.
Yeah, I was walking around strapped today.
Oh, I'm always walking around strapped. I'm gonna do a walk through my room.
When I took Colin in the woods.
Oh. You thought I'm going to take our son out into the woods with a gun?
Since that shooting at the Target, I've been putting it in my pocket more often.
I thought maybe you were just taking him out in the woods and that's it. I'm done with you, boy.
No. But like you were saying the other day, where did you take him?
Oh, I took him to a different park and I was all by myself and I did feel like I was nervous.
So I was like, that was in my head, because you called me and you're like, we're out in here in the woods all by ourselves, and you were nervous. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, so I'm going to take him out in the woods for a walk, and
oh man,
I'll stick this thing in my pocket.
PJ posted that video up and people were like, I was right, FPS Rush is Kyle.
Oh my god. What
PJ
video?
Posted what video up?
I was freestyling on a COD 4 video today and PJ posted it.
I thought he posted my email up. Like, E2 Brute? But no.
I got a great reaction from PJ today. It's a pretty good one. Actually, 2 of them.
Well, I think we're going to bail out. I'm going to get this podcast up shortly, and then I'll be done my work for the day.
All right.
All right, guys.
Bye-bye.
Later.
Bye.
Hey guys, welcome to Painkiller already. It's the episode 10, and for the Big 10, we have a special guest today. Who do we have?
We have Blame Truth. What's up, guys?
We have Blame Truth, one of the founders of the commentary scene.
Yeah, Blame Truth, I've been meaning about. I once saw a video where XCal said that he really hated you, in a jovial way, for making commentary the new standard. That you couldn't just post uncommentated gameplay anymore. Are you the first guy to do commentary? What's the story behind that?
As far as I know, I'm the first guy to do commentary off in the multiplayer games like COD, but I don't quote me on that. I could be wrong, but the first guy to do multiplayer commentary on shooters, I think so. But yeah, I started that, some subscriber suggested it to me, and I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot, whatever. And tried it out, people loved it, and then, XCal, who was also pretty big at the time, he's not that big now because he doesn't post anything, ever, but he was pretty big at the time, and he, everyone was pestering him to do commentary and stuff, too, so he finally did commentary, and we were the 2 biggest guys for a while, and then Modern Warfare 2 came out, and we both hated it, so we got kind of behind. But
Hutch is big too. Hutch was big, and Beyond, beast of a player. So I'm going to go to Wings of Redemption first, because I'm guessing he's thought this through.
Right.
If you wanted to murder someone and get away with it, how would you go about doing it?
Oh, I know how I'd go about doing it.
I knew you would, baby. I knew you would. Lay it on me.
I do too. Well, the actual way of killing him, probably just shoot him. I mean, some script plan was there. The whole idea is to cover it up. You want to keep the blood splatter to a minimum. You want to use a smaller caliber, like a 22 or something that will rattle around inside them, something that will bend over onto itself. And after they're done, the way I would dispose of the body, there's a couple ways. The first one would be pigs. I don't know if you know this, but a trial of full-grown pigs, like 12 or 12 plus of them, could eat a human corpse in less than 2 hours.
Yeah.
What about
hair, bone, cartilage, bone. Another way to do it is go to a hardware store beforehand and get you some chain link fence, some cinder blocks, and some leather, like a nice sheet of leather. Wet the leather, wrap them up into it, power dry it with a blowgun, and put them in the chain link fence like a burrito. And basically tie meat to it, and sand it down, throw it in the murky river like the Pitch Landing or Little PD, some with black murky water full of mercury. It has gators in it. What's going to happen, even if the gators don't eat them, the body's going to erode with gas, and you plop up and try to come to the top of the water, and eventually it's going to cut their body into little pieces from the chain link fence, and the gators and fish will eat it.
Oh, that's smart. Wow. I've actually thought of a way to do that too, but mine's a much more.
The leather basically, when leather is wet and you dry it real fast, it tightens up like an anaconda, and it'll break and shatter the bone. Yep.
Well, I was
All right, Blaine, you're next. You got to. Yeah. It's not easy to top that.
Well, I mean, I've thought about it. I'm not crazy. I'm not like an angry guy or whatever. I don't have anyone I want to kill. But I mean, if I had to, like, what I would do is probably just use some, like, let's say there was a guy who lived in the neighborhood and I wanted to kill him. I'd probably break into his neighbor's house, steal something he owns. For instance, maybe hit a machete he has, which has his fingerprints on it. Kill the guy with it, and then maybe sneak back into the dude's house and put the machete back in, his little house there. And he'd probably get blamed for it, and that's a pretty terrible thing to do, probably. But I mean,
But that's that.
All right, got it. Well, it depends on the situation. If you're in if I were in, I'm getting aimed. If I were in, like, say, Atlanta right now, like where I used to live, there's some high crime areas. Like I would lure the person to a certain area, or I would follow the person to they were in a certain area, and I just walk up behind them, shoot them in the back of the head, and drop the gun, and empty their pockets, make it look like a robbery, like a mugging or something. But where I live now is more of a rural area, so you don't get a lot of muggings here. So I would probably kidnap the person first at gunpoint and get them somewhere like where I am. I've got a ton of property, so I can get them out there. And it wouldn't really matter how you kill them. I'd probably just shoot them in the head and make sure I got the bullet out. And because you don't want forensics to come back on you with the bullet. But then I was thinking I would just burn the body. And I know it's you have to get pretty hot to incinerate people, but I've got an incinerator, so that should take care of it. Citric acid would be a better way.
Huh. So mine's not nearly as sophisticated. It was pretty much get them into an unpopulated area, knife them with a knife you never put prints on, and then dispose of it. And disposing of a knife should be pretty straightforward. It's not like I'm going to drop it in some dumpster or my house is trash, but put it in deep water, and it'll never be found. And that should be that. I wouldn't even, like, Wings' idea involved, like, pigs or citric acid or a lot of, like, body disposal. And to me, I'm thinking leave the body, let them find it. Just don't leave any traces behind. If there's a knife...
Yeah, I'd be too paranoid, though.
I hear you, but to me, let them find the body and just don't be tied to it, because I think that the process of, like, say, bringing the body back to my farm, feeding it to the pigs, now what do I have? I've got clothes with blood on it. I've got a trail with it. Are there forensics in my car? All that stuff.
With leather, son.
To me, keep this thing simple. Keep the guy in an area, puncture hole, and then leave him. I will make sure he's dead, by the way. If that takes 60 puncture holes, that's what it takes. But,
yeah.
You got to
tell you the Beatles told you to do it in the road, huh?
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. But take him to an isolated area, use a knife, dispose of that knife completely, and you're good to go. I know this clothes you got to get rid of too. I'm sure I get a blood.
And I remember, you could always, like, if you really want to take somebody out, you could just shoot them from a long distance, in a populated area. Remember the DC sniper? They would have never caught those guys if they had just left after one or two.
Yep.
They just got a hole in the trunk and laid a back seat down. There you go. Like they weren't sophisticated. They were just sniping people out of their car and Outback Steakhouse parking lots and stuff.
Yeah, we call it sniping. They were using a Cart 15.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Bushmaster.
Yeah, headed Bushmaster. I got a Bushmaster. There you go.
So what is it? Describe the gun to me. What is it, like a deer gun?
It's an AR-15.
No, it's a varmint gun, actually.
An AR-15? Is that what you said it was?
Pretty similar.
Okay.
It's a 223.
Yeah. Hey, how were their kill? I have a 223. What was the kill rate on that? Were there many survivors with that gun?
No, there were none.
Really? I think there was one, wasn't there?
There might have been one that survived, but it seems like they killed 16 people, right?
If you go to gun forums,
I don't think it was 16. I think it was like 6 or 7, but
they act like the 223 is a BB gun. If you're like on the internet, if you don't have
it is like penetration, but for killing people, that 223 will fuck you up because it bounces around inside of you.
I don't think so. I think it rips straight through you at 3,000 foot per second or something ridiculous like that.
Oh, no. It doesn't have enough energy to go straight through you. That's the reason it bounces around inside of you. It hits you in like curve in your body.
It might curve, but no way it's bouncing around and changing.
I'm not talking like fucking cartoons like bing 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 bing. Yeah. That's what you're picturing. I'm talking about
hitting the muscle and like taking a jagged turn.
I could see
They
that.
killed 10 people, wounded 5.
Really?
Yeah.
That's why the M16 replaced the M14, 30 caliber versus the 5.56. 5.56 is the military standard of the 223, but it'll put you down. It will.
Yeah. Well, the other thing about the
NATO
military standard, my understanding is a big part of it is carrying the bullets. You know,
Yeah.
I'm sure all of them would rather have 50 cals at the very moment they're pulling the trigger, but the rest of their lives, when they're dragging that ammo through the woods in Vietnam, when they're dragging that ammo across the desert and whatever, when they have to carry that, when they can only have one clip on their pocket because it weighs 4 times what a 223 not clip magazine would weigh, then that's a big deal. So they use these lighter bullets so that they can have more of them.
I hate to say it, I would take the extra weight for a 30 caliber over the 5.56, but the 5.56 does get the job done.
Well, here, let me say this. I read recently that almost all ammo in the military is used for suppressing fire. That something along the lines of they get a hit 1 out of every like 75,000 bullets. That most of the time they fire rounds, it's just to make sure that that person is hiding or keeping cover or staying away, or they fire rounds just to make to clear the path, suppressing fire. We know what that is. So you say, I'd rather have that heavy bullet. Well, keep in mind, most of these bullets aren't even for killing. They're just for keeping people hiding and letting them.
Yeah, well, I'd still rather have the heavy bullet. If I know if I get that hit out of that 75,000 rounds, he's dead. You ever seen what a 30 caliber does to flesh? It's bad. 5-inch exit wound.
Yeah, I heard about some guy like in what was it? Was it Vietnam? Not in Vietnam. Like they issued the M16s, I think, then real big, and he didn't want to use one. And wanted to use an M14 because like the M16 round wouldn't kill a man. It just kind of like, what's the word?
Incapacitate him?
Incapacitate him, yeah, and they could still, it wasn't it wasn't a surefire kill or whatever, and he wanted to use like an M14, but yeah.
Just for sanity's sake, you shoot a guy with a 5.56, you're wondering the rest of your life if you killed him or not, because you don't go check.
Yeah.
You got 4 or 5 other guys on the line next to him shooting at you.
Yeah.
I mean, so you're wondering the rest of your life, did I kill somebody? You hit him with an M14, I killed that guy.
yeah.
That guy's dead, and if there was anybody behind him, they're dead too.
All right, next topic.
I got one number on the same thing.
Oh, go ahead. You can go ahead.
All right, we're talking about methodical, like first-degree murder here. How about out of anger? What would you do to somebody?
Choke him out.
I killed him.
No, give him a scenario. If they give him a scenario of the person doing something horrible to him or his family.
All right, so say you got a wife and this guy's like plowing her, and you know it ahead of time, and you're driving there. Like you know you're gonna walk in on it.
Okay, I have a knife in one hand and a gun in the other. I walk in and I hand the dude my knife and then I shoot him.
You go, here, buddy, catch.
Have you guys ever been choked out in a fight?
I have been.
Yeah.
I got knocked out one time, but it wasn't in a fight.
Okay. Yeah, you guys might have had that. So mine wasn't I haven't been choked out in a real fight, but I've been choked out in training a couple times. And it's really disorienting. There is this, it's hard to describe how much it means to you, but there's this period of time that everyone else in the gym has that you don't. So like the first time it happened to me, here's the deal. I'm rolling. I'm doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And the guy I'm rolling with was a lot more experienced than I was at the time. And he had me in this position that I didn't recognize where the danger was, and he starts choking me. And I didn't know the escape, and he finishes the choke. Anyway, in my head, I can't see anything, but I'm still putting up like sort of an active resistance. And but what's really happening in the gym is the instructor, this black belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy, sees my neck in an awkward position while this guy's choking me, and he sort of hustles over and tells him to let go. Well, I come to, a few seconds after that, and I see the black belt guy standing in front of me. But I thought he was the guy I was rolling with. Like, I didn't know what was going on. So I go for the takedown. And So he's like, whoa, 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 settle down, settle down. And I saw his black belt. It wasn't purple like the guy that choked me out. And I was like, oh, different person. What happened here? And that's when he explained that he saw my neck in an awkward position and came over and told the guy to stop choking me out. So I'm like, all right, let's go. You know, I was looking at the purple belt. Let's try this again. And he's like, no. You know, you're not going anywhere. And I'm like, no, go anywhere. Let's roll. Take a seat, buddy. And so I tried to roll in a couple of times, and they weren't letting me do it. They had me settle down. And they were right, man. So coming out of this choking experience, one, I had a headache for the rest of the night. And two, I was like kind of stupid. I drove home from the gym I was in San Jose on a business trip, and it was almost akin to drunk driving. Like I was happy to make it back to the hotel and I didn't realize it was going to be like this when I started the trip. But I was just, everything about me was a little delayed, a little slow, and just processing the information that you would take in while driving is gone. So this ties into another story. My instructor back home here, Team Rock, some guy cut him off while driving, and my instructor flipped him the bird. Anyway, the guy gets out of his car and starts banging on the instructor's window. And this guy's a professional fighter. His ears are all cauliflowered. He shaves his head so no one can touch it. And the guy's banging on his window, like yelling at him. And he's like, dude, you're making a mistake. And but the guy's not having it. And the instructor's kind of small. He fights he fought at 170. He probably should have fought at 155. And anyway, so the guy is making a mistake. He's not having it. They go, and in the grassy median in the middle of the road there, it's like a 4-lane thing with the dedicated left-hand turn area. That's where the fight happens. So they go to the side, and my instructor, the way he tells the story, with this kind of bored look on his face, the guy threw a punch, immediately goes for the takedown. Now he's in full mount, and so the guy, being full mounted, rolls over onto his belly as if that would protect him. He lays in the rear naked choke, and then he sits next to him before he wakes up, like he's at a picnic. And the guy comes to, and he's like, dude, what happened? He's like, you just got choked out. You need to settle down. And and he's like, it was really awkward for me to explain to him that he just got his ass kicked. I feel for you. Anyway, when you choke a guy out, he is dumbfounded for a while. And you can do anything you want with that guy. You have won the fight at a level that, unless you've been choked out, you don't understand. You own that person. More chokings are there for the picking. You can beat him down. You can do anything you want. He's confused.
Sounds a little gay, Woody.
Okay, I wasn't going there, but like
you don't do what you want to the guy.
I know, but you know how I know you're gay? Because you went there. Like, I was talking about breaking his nose. You're talking about grabbing his rear.
You're talking about taking chokes and doing anything you want to do to a guy. I don't know.
Woody, have you seen the Boss Rutan self-defense video?
Yes, those things are funny. I don't buy them. Like,
I mean, I think they work, but I was just gonna say, like, during one part, he's teaching you how to do an arm triangle choke, to a guy, and he does it, and then he's like, once he's out, you can do fun games like pull the pants down and hide the spice bottle or something like that. Kyle said that, just reminded me of that.
He's hilarious, and a lot of that stuff, but some of his tips were like, put your hand on the back of his head and slam it into the table. Now, like, wings. If I put my hand on the back of your head, just above your neck, and push your head towards the table, do you really think your forehead would slam into it at a rate that you'd get knocked out? I don't think so. We're talking about you're talking about my arm against your upper body, right? Some of these things are they look kind of neat, and you're like, wow, Bass Rutan's got this guy pwned, but that's not how it goes down.
I think most likely your hand probably fly off the top of my head when I push back with my upper body.
Exactly. I'm not saying muscled your... Yeah, he's selling videos. I mean, it's funny.
Yeah, he's so big and like he can just muscle around people. But I mean, for a smaller guy to do that to a bigger guy, I don't think that'd work. But
I mean, my dad's a really big guy. I'm 6'2", 200 pounds, and my dad makes me look like a little tiny, little bitch man. I can hold a basketball with one hand, and my dad's ring thing. My dad had to have his wedding ring special made because
He's a big man. He's about 6'3", 250 pounds, and he wears it well. And back in the day, like I'm not exaggerating, like he was the badass in like North Georgia. And I saw him getting. I'm not even exaggerating. Like I wouldn't say it just because like, you know, that's my daddy. He's a badass. No, it's not like that. Like every time I talk to like you know, one of the guys that's like my dad's buddy, he's like, you know, your dad was a badass. I saw him get this guy one time by a phone booth outside of Tasty Freeze. He knocked every one of his fucking teeth out. And I was asking my dad one time when I was like 14. I'm like, so how did you do that? I heard you never lost a fight. He's like, I've never been hit. I was like, so I'm like, you got all these fights. I'm like I'm talking about dozens and dozens of fights. I'm like, how do you get in that many fights and never get hit? He's like, I would always just tackle them, sit on their stomach, and beat the shit out of them. And like and basically what he's talking about was just grounding and pounding before, you know, anybody put grounding and pounding. I saw him get in a fight one time, and at the time I guess my dad was like 48. And I guess I was like 12 or 13 or something, but this guy had been running his mouth and saying some stuff he shouldn't be saying. And it kept weighing on my dad, and he's like, all right, we got to go find him. So we go to where this guy's working, and it's actually at a farm. And the other guy is bigger than my dad. He's probably 6'5", 300 pounds, this big, goofy-looking dude. And my dad gets out of the car, and the guy's like, hey, Lamar, what's going on? He's like, you son of a bitch, I heard what you said. And we're in it's like a gravel driveway there, and it's the really big gravel, like it's like as big as your fist, well, as big as a normal person's fist. And he picks up one of these rocks and holds it in his hand. And I asked him later, I'm like, why'd you pick up the rock? He's like, I wanted to make sure my hand was hard. And he punches the guy in the temple, and it's so loud, I had the windows rolled up, and I heard it. Pop! And this guy just like falls out into the back of his own truck. And my dad starts choking him, and his hands are reaching all the way around this man's neck, and the fingers are touching on the back. Because I can see from where I am that like he's got this man's neck like it's a chicken's neck, this giant man, and he's choking the shit out of him. And the man starts crying at this point. And so my dad he's like, you know, I guess I can't rough him up too much more because he's out there crying in front of all these people. There were a lot of people watching. So then he went into what he calls the humiliation mode, which is where he just kicks the man in the ass for about 3 minutes and cusses at him.
So my father was the opposite, but I have a fight story too. Let me tell it.
Hey, I can say that you pick the rock up so you don't break your knuckles. Oh, he broke every bone in his hand, and he sawed the cast off 2 weeks later and just rolled with it. Good. That's like holding a lighter or like a roll of quarters so your hand doesn't give. I guess less chance to break your knuckles. Yeah, he actually broke his hand hitting that guy.
So my father was a much different guy. You know, your father was the badass of Northern Georgia. My father was the certified public accountant in Morristown, New Jersey. And we're at the movies. And this guy, he's 17 years old, he's driving his car. And he heads up to these two 15-year-olds and kind of slams on the brakes, you know, too aggressively. And the 15-year-olds raise their arm in such a way that shows they're displeased. And the 17-year-old driving wants none of it. He gets out of the car, and he starts threatening to fight these two kids. And
he's looking for a fight.
Yeah. Well, he was drunk. That was the deal. So the drunk driver gets out of his car, and now he's ready to beat up these younger kids. And it was 2-on-1, but the kids were instantly scared. They were intimidated, and it wasn't going well. And my father saw this going down, and goes over to the kid and tells him to bug off or whatever. Now the kid wants to fight my father. And while he's not like a true badass, or at least I never thought of him that way, he's a 6 foot, 200 pounds ex-naval pilot. And so that it gets into wrestling. And my father and this pretty athletic 17-year-old go to wrestling, and they land on the hood of the driver's car, and the thing gets all smashed in. And my father pushes him back, and he's like, "You want more? We can head to the trunk." And that was his badass line that made me laugh. So anyway, the 17-year-old kind of left the younger kids alone, got back in the car, and drove away with a little bit of body damage. That's his fight story. Man.
Yeah, road rage can lead to some pretty serious altercations. I was all these badass dads. Let me tell you this story, because this is actually a pretty good one. My cousin and I we got to a four-way stop, a four-way red light, and to my right there was a car coming, and it hadn't quite slowed down enough. I was worried that maybe it was going to run the red light, so I didn't go right away, even though my light was green. And there's a car behind me that just lays on the horn, and I'm not talking about one of those beep, just like, hey buddy, let's go. He's like, wah, and I'm like turn around, I'm like, what the fuck? And I look back, and I'm like, the guy's looking at me, and he can see me in the mirror, and I like mouth, fuck you, and turn around and give him the bird. And it's this black guy in this like shitty ass car, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that guy's problem was. And so we drive about a quarter of a block, and my cousin's like, he wants you to pull over. And I look back, and the guy's like motioning, he's like pointing toward his right, like pull over, pull over. I'm like, well, he just made a fucking mistake, because I'm like 18 years old. I'm going through that phase where it's like nobody's gonna fuck with me, and I've actually got what I call my thumper in the truck with me, which is basically about 15 inches of the end of a baseball bat with duct tape wrapped around it. So I'm like, all right, this guy's going to have a bad day. So I'll hop out with that. And I run up to his passenger side window, and I start screaming at him. I'm like, yeah, you want me to fuck you up? You want to fuck you up, you piece of shit? And he's like terrified. He like backs up into the car. He's like, I'm a judge. And I'm like, oh no. You might as well have pulled out a double-barreled shotgun. I was like, time to go. I like jump back in the truck. Scott at this point is like running around the truck like he's there to back me up. He's like, I was going to get him from the driver's side and drag him out. I'm like, no. We take off out of there. I'm worried the guy's going to get my plates. So I just drive right into the intersection. I don't even look for cars. We could have easily been T-boned. I'm on sidewalks. I'm driving through parking lots. Anything to get the fuck out of there. We drove around for an hour just in the wrong direction away from home to avoid the police. So I just knew that guy was going to be calling the cops. But if you're ever in a situation where you think somebody's going to beat the hell out of you, just yell, I'm a judge, because that's better than a gun. That scared the shit out of me.
That's nice.
I got all these badass stories. I mean, the last fight I was in, I spray painted the guy in the eyes.
Oh, man. Ouch. That's almost as bad as fucking
me. The reason I was doing this because I was losing the fight. So you just had a can of spray paint handy? No, basically we got in an altercation, like an argument over a video game. It was real young. I was like 14 at the time, and he was 17, I think. And he was a lot bigger than me at that time. And so I think he beat me at a game. I forgot which game it was, and I was upset about it because I've always took losing at video games pretty hard. Yeah. So I push him, and he pushes me back, and then I go outside, and we had like this little shed outside. It wasn't much nothing, like a little rickety old man shed. And he comes back gloating and all, so I smack him as hard as a 14-year-old guy can smack him in the upper chest. And he pushes me into the shed wall so hard it like knocks my breath away. And I like fell down. And when that happened, a can of spray paint fell in my hands from off of the shelf. My first instinct was to hit him with it. Wow. And he was crying and shit, and so I was just laying into him, just like standing up over him. Oh, no mercy, huh? There's no mercy rule after you spray paint somebody.
Kick him in the ass. In humiliation mode.
Well, I knew I couldn't beat the guy physically.
I'm afraid I don't have any like badass fight stories, except for most of my stuff happened when I was really young. So I remember being about 5, 6 years old, and I had a temper when I was little, like really, really bad. And there was this like 9, 10-year-old kid pushing me around. I remember I went with my cousin to one of his friend's house, and his little brother was like pushing me around for no reason. And at first it was all fun and games or whatever. And then like he pushed me a little too hard, and I saw red, so I got pissed off. I just belted him right in the nose, and it broke his nose. And that's about the only fight story I have, but it was pretty funny because his brother got blamed for it and not me. So
I had a similar story at a similar age. This kid he lived on my block, and we were always kind of friendly, but for no reason that day he just decided it was like pick on Woody day. And the one thing that he did that made me see red is he had like, I'm going to call it chewed up cereal in a straw. And he pointed it at me as if he were going to blow it at me, but there was a screen door in between it, so I thought that he wouldn't really do it, didn't like, take evasive action, and he did it, and it went right through the screen door, and it was like chewed up cereal or crackers in a straw, like worse than a speedball, right? And that was it. I called him out, but he was pretty convinced that he could beat me up, and he wasn't concerned about it. But the thing was, he was prepared for like a 9-year-old fight, which is mostly a wrestling match, and that's not how I went into it. I went straight for the punching, and I hit him in the face. It broke his glasses, which cut his face, and I had full mount on him, and he punched me in the ear at one point. So I punched him right back in the ear, and he started to cry, and it went really well. And I even remember one of the older kids, like the masters of the block, being like, "I thought it was going to be a stupid wrestling match. This is a good fight." And it was. It was a nice victory. And yeah, he spent the whole day picking on me for reasons I still don't understand.
I gotta say, I'd hate to be anybody fucks with me now. Because I'm at the point where I know I can't fight. So if you get an altercation with me,
it starts dirty.
Get hit with something.
Yeah.
Pull Ric Flair and throw him in the eye and stuff and go for the low blows.
He's just like, this is to the death, buddy. You really don't want to start this.
Well, the current events. Do you guys know who Gary Faulkner is?
No.
No.
So Gary Faulkner went off to Pakistan to hunt down Osama bin Laden by himself.
Machete.
He had a machete in his hand, and he really planned this out. I don't know if this was his first trip. I heard something about 5 to 6 trips. I don't know if I read that he'd saved enough money for 5 or 6 trips, or that he had gone 5 or 6 times. But this guy goes to Pakistan and hunts down Osama bin Laden with machetes by himself. And so how was his goal?
His goal is to bring back his head.
Yeah.
I would have brought the machete, but I at least took a weapon with me to deal with the.
But everyone else has AK-47s.
Imagine for a second if he succeeded. If he came back across the Pakistani border drenched in blood with Osama bin Laden's head in one hand and a machete in the other, like bullet wounds in his arms and legs, and he was like, "Where's my $25 million?"
I picture him going through airport security with Osama bin Laden's head in a bowling ball bag, just like checking it in. Passes right through security.
Maybe that could be the new plot for the new Rambo movie or something.
Nice.
Sounds pretty.
Oh, they actually are making the new Rambo movie?
Yeah, Rambo 5, I think it is. Yeah.
Really?
5.
Starring someone, I assume?
No, yeah. Stallone's not doing it.
Is he not?
No.
I know Stallone's in some new movie with like all the big action guys.
Stallone said he was done with the series after 4 because Rambo went full circle, but the studios bought the rights to the name, so they're going to continue making movies.
Oh, okay.
What's the movie with every action star in it?
It's yeah, it's got like Dolph Lundgren and
I love how Dolph Lundgren's the first guy he names.
Yeah, right.
He-Man himself.
Hey, I scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
Dolph Lundgren, Jet Li, Bruce Willis, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jason Statham, and Stallone.
Yeah.
And Randy Couture.
Yeah.
Yeah, Randy Couture. I like that guy.
I bet that would be the kind of guy you wouldn't want to get in like a barroom brawl with. Randy Couture would just. Like I can just imagine like somebody who doesn't know who he is he just goes to the old balding guy.
Yeah,
he
looks like a
goes
nice
to bars
or something.
and he's like slapping random chicks on the ass and stuff. He's like, "What? You got a problem, buddy?"
That happened to Bass Rutten. Bass Rutten was at this event with like NFL players and such, and somebody like walked around and gave Bass Rutten the shoulder, like popped him a little bit. And he gave this friendly, like, sort of jovial bounce around, like, "Hey, what's that all about?" And the NFL guy was like, "You got a problem, MF?" And then his friend, like, tapped on his shoulder and told him that Bass Rutten was, like, the Pride World Champion or whatever the heck he was. And he apologized to Bass. Like, it totally turned around. New topics. I could either go into my cool story bro of the week, or we could skip that. And
we only got, 15 minutes left?
I think we could end, but yeah, here's the way this went down. This sub writes me, and he says, "I want you guys to talk about getting caught masturbating by your parents. And I'm like, I don't know about it.
Never did.
And he's like, I'm 15. I've been caught twice. I know you've been caught.
What?
And I'm like, I don't think I want to talk about this. He goes, don't be a pussy. I'm like, all right, I'll add it to my list, and we'll see if it comes up.
Yeah, my next comment would be blocked.
No, I don't know. The way I read, the don't be a pussy thing, it came off as kind of funny to me.
Jokey? Yeah, I read that way too. Blocked.
Kyle, tell me you've been busted.
Never, ever, ever. And I mean, to be honest, and like, all right, I got you guys. Some guy sent Wings a message like saying that like he didn't like my talk about sex and stuff. Like I was some self-centered asshole. I'm like, dude, just be honest. What do you want me to say? That I don't get laid? Like I don't know what you want me to say. If it'll make you feel better, I'll tell you that. But I hate to break it to you, but it's not the truth. Like I mean, there was usually like a steady stream of younger ladies coming in and out of my room, so people just knew, it's not a good idea to walk in there unannounced, because you might see some like 15-year-old girl in an awkward position.
And no one here's ever been caught?
I've never been caught, no. I have a lock on my door, though, so...
Well, I guess I'll go. I've never been caught, like, with pee-pee in hand. But but what I have been is I think I was having a naughty dream, one that would have resulted in some sort of ejaculation, and I was downstairs on the couch, and I was in this like half awake, half asleep state, and I even remember thinking like, oh, this is awesome, I'm going to enjoy this, and my mom like rushed everyone else out of the living room, and yeah, that happened one time.
That's disturbing.
Yeah, that's how it's down now.
You were talking about like being half awake.
There's one more thing. So now that I'm an adult and I'm married, there's a rule. I shouldn't share this. My nephew listens to this. But if I get caught by my wife, she's got to blow me. That's like the deal. So
I'd be walking around all the time.
Yeah, it's been enforced twice.
Well, let me tell you a secret now getting caught. You do it in the shower because nobody's going to walk in on you in the shower.
No, in every situation you want to get caught, I'd be doing the line and be like, yeah!
It's like, hey, babe.
Like walks if you're doing the dishes with one hand and the other, you're like, yeah!
Because, I had been, busted by her, and it was like this, jokey sort of pointy, like I caught you. And I'm like, all right, if you're going to go down that way, if you're going to, act like it was a prize to catch me, then there are the repercussions. You got to blow me and finish this off. And that's how we roll in the Woodworth house.
I think you just shattered your image, Woody.
What did they think? I've got 2 kids. What, how do you think that happens?
That's like the Pope say. No, not the Pope. The Pope doesn't get pussy.
That we know of.
Tom Hanks?
Yeah, that we
know of. Tom Hanks says kids too. The man's not a virgin.
He did try to get in Jen A's pants.
Oh, Jen A.
I hate Jen A. She's a fucking cunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a bitch.
She sort of turned her act around in the end.
Fuck her.
After she got A's and was like coked, after her life of being coked out and bang slutted.
And wanted his money.
I was talking about
Black
the next
Panthers?
girlfriend or something.
Got a train running on by the Black Panthers. Oh, I'm ready to come back to you, Forrest.
Fuck you, Jen A.
Use a slut.
Oh man, he's got enough money with that shrimp company. He can get himself some nice ladies.
I always wondered that. Where'd all his fucking money go?
He's got it. He just lives simply. He's a retard, dude.
I mean, he lives in his mama's house.
Now somebody's gonna send me a message. I don't like you making fun of retarded people. My cousin's retarded. I don't know how many complaints have you guys gotten about me on the podcast? It's like 2 or 3, right?
After he gets the shrimp company and Best and Apple and all this other shit, he starts running and people realize and start recognizing they don't know he's like a multi-millionaire investor in Apple, owns the bubblegum shrimp company. People would recognize you.
Well, he did have a beard.
Dude, I
Mike
want to call
Jackson
you
has
out on
kids.
this. I don't like that you make fun of Robert Bowling's family. It seems wrong.
I don't make. You misunderstood. I don't make fun of his family. I simply said, I simply told a story one time about how like 402 had a blog post up, and it was like it had a picture of his baby, like him holding his baby. And I was telling the podcast crew, like the Gentleman's Choice crew, about how this one guy commented the picture and just said hideous, and then somebody just commented above him and said, "Wow, real mature, man. Don't talk about his family like that or whatever." And then the guy just commented back and goes, he goes, "I was talking about the kitchen, but now that you mention it, that baby's pretty fucking ugly too." And I told him that. Ever since then, like it's mainly them. I try not to egg them on.
No, come on now. You said the baby had a square head.
It does. That's not.
That's not nice. That's not nice. It's like this is a Robert Bowling is a community manager, and that makes him somewhat of a fair target, right? Like if you're going to have a YouTube channel, if you're going to be a community manager, you have to be somewhat prepared for the feedback that comes from that kind of public spot.
Yeah.
But his baby and his wife didn't sign up for that.
That's true, but I mean, people make fun of me for looking like the Geico caveman, like when I have a beard. It's cool with it. You gotta roll with it. I mean, seriously, I don't mind. So, I had a cone head when I was a baby.
You are, you have a YouTube channel. You've got what do you have, 100,000 subscribers, something insane like that, and so you're like, all right, I'm in a position of popularity, and I'm going to get all sorts of weird feedback, like Geico caveman, which is pretty funny.
Yeah.
But if they were to insult your baby, that would be crossing the line.
Probably. Yeah, that's why I tried to stop it. Like I just said, I mean, it's mainly the other guys that do it. Mainly, Gangster Hebrew and Andrew Williams or whatever. Like I said at the first episode of the podcast, I think jokingly. And they made it like a weekly thing. So I tried to, it was just like a joke, and it got kind of out of hand. But I mean, it's somebody. If I had a baby and it had a square head, and somebody said it had a square head, I wouldn't get to it.
I think it's just a different story there. I know I'd be ready to choke me a motherfucker out.
Well, no, I mean, I had a cone head when I was a kid, and people said, hey, they told my mom, they're like,
hey guys, welcome. It's your boy Wings of Redemption, and it's Painkiller already, episode 11. You can't find us on iTunes now because we haven't discovered the problem, but you can watch it on the site. But what guest do we have today with us?
What's up, guys? This is Sandy Ravage.
Sandy Ravage. So, Sandy, have you ever commentated the video? There was one on Wasteland that might have been you. Was that you?
Nope, that was not me.
So
that
this
was my
is the
friend.
First time you've ever been heard.
Yep, correct.
Well, welcome to the internet.
Yep. Hamming them.
You guys want to get into non-game stuff?
I got one more thing. I don't know if you wanted to talk about this, Woody. What about, I was going to bring up the kid who asked if you would do the dual commentary with him to impress his buddies at school.
He wrote back. He said that so here's the story. A subscriber wrote to me, and he said that the kid that I'm not going to mention his name. I'm not going to give any hints on who he might be, but the kids at school were giving him a hard time, and that he wanted to do a dual commentary with me so that they would think that he was somebody. So Kyle happened to be in the lobby. We were playing together, and I was like, Kyle, give me some advice. How would you reply to this young man? And he's like, I would tell him that dual commentaries with Woody Gamerstag doesn't get you the bitches. You need to join the football team and score some girls. And so he wrote back, and he's like, it's not about girls. It's that he wants, I guess, the other boys in the school to think he's cooler.
So he's gay.
No. So I don't know what I should do here. Do you do a dual commentary with a young guy like that, or what do you do?
It's like I said. It's like I said. Like, I don't. I'm 8 years removed from high school, or am I? 6 years. I'm sorry, I'm not that old. 6 years removed from high school, and it's like I told you the other night. Like if I went to school and I was like, hey guys, check this out. Open the laptop up. It's my dual com with Woody's gamer tag. We're playing Call of Duty. Then I kicked the shit out of me. Like that. Then I took my laptop.
Yeah, I think I think that it would backfire. I think that if he really wanted to impress the kids at school, knowing me isn't going to be the trick that's going to turn them around.
So, Sandy, you're in school? You're getting a master's
Yeah, I'm getting my master's.
in New York, I guess.
Yep, New York City.
Good deal. So, are you working too, or you go at night, or is you doing it full time?
No, I'm doing it full time.
Is this your
Job
first
market
year?
right now sucks.
So, did you work before you went to school? Like, are you taking a break from work?
No, I went directly from getting my undergrad to master's.
Gotcha. So you just stayed in school a little. I don't know. Stay tight. Wait for the job market to improve.
Well, basically, this is the worst time to graduate from college. So
In
why not,
quite some time,
go
yeah.
for a master's, for 2 years.
What are you going for? Like, what are you going to do?
Computer science, focusing on
Nice.
database programming.
Cool.
Okay. Very nice.
So is this year
It's not
one or
too
year
interesting.
two in it?
I'm going into my second year.
Oh, right. Because it's between years. So you're
I
just finishing
completed
first.
2 semesters so far.
So what was your? So I have a master's too, and when I was in high school, not that I got good grades, but I could do nothing. I would do like no homework all semester
Yeah,
long.
never.
And then I'd show up and I'd do okay enough on tests to pass courses. And when I got to college, it wasn't quite like that. I sort of had to keep up a little more. If I fell behind, I could catch up. And that's how college was. It wasn't quite so easy to just learn a quarter's worth of stuff in the last week.
Yeah.
When I got my master's, that was just about full speed for me. If I fell behind, I don't know if I was even able to catch up.
It took me a couple months to adjust to it. It's insane.
So you're having the same experience. You're not some freaking
One class is like
brainiac that-
taking 3 undergrad courses. And I don't take more than 3 master's classes at a time. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I work so hard. So I took 2 courses at a time, but I also had a full-time job and a family, and it's a lot. You really learn time management when you're at that sort of thing.
It's pretty insane.
There's something about school that work doesn't have, right? At school, they occupy you 24/7 every day. You can't go to the movies without thinking that there is some report or project that you're supposed to be working on. Whereas
Yep.
at work, you're kind of allowed to have life outside of work. It's part of the deal. And, there's some times at work it's almost 24/7. But oftentimes you leave work and you're not supposed to be working anymore. They even want you to have a life outside of work to keep you as a long-term happy employee. School, they don't have any of this long-time happiness objective. That's not really in their to-do list.
Because you go to class for an hour and 40 minutes, then you go home, you got 8 hours of work to do.
It's huge.
It's like kind of the opposite.
So, did you do anything that made you feel smart yet?
No,
No?
I'm still lazy. I don't feel like a smart person. So
I had
I do like huge projects, like 80-page programming assignments or whatever, but they look good, but I don't feel
Really? Some of those bigger projects, as I was doing them, increased my own sense of self-worth. Like, I would do these things.
a little bit.
And I would be like, you know what? The other people I work with, they drown in this stuff.
Like I'm a little surprised I could pull it off at the end.
Yeah. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of
But I wouldn't show it off to people.
No, it won't make you popular with the bitches, according to Kyle.
Not at all. They don't want to see SQL.
No.
After hearing this, I think Kyle made the correct business choice here.
Oh,
Car salesman
I'd
don't
say
sound
so.
too bad.
There you go, man. Straight out of high school.
yep. No debt. Way to be.
Loving it. My mom's got a master's degree in early childhood education, which basically means she's the highest paid kindergarten teacher in the world. And I'm like, I just went straight out of high school, working out pretty nice for me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're saying that college isn't necessarily the sure thing route that it was like 20 years ago. That there's a viable career path that can be just as good for guys who don't go to college.
I mean, at the jobs I'm looking for, a master's degree only adds a half a year of experience. And they're looking for minimum 5 years experience. It's not helping. So it's all dependent on the job market.
Where I work, it helps. This internal ball here, but if you get hired with a bachelor's, you're a pay grade 4. That's it. It's not negotiable. You're a pay grade 4. If you get hired with a master's, you're either a 6 or an 8, most likely a 6.
Mm-hmm.
And that means that you start off it probably takes 3 years to get your first promotion, and that's about the jump on everyone else that you get there.
That's cool.
Yeah. And if you come in as an 8, to come in as an 8, you would probably have to do something during your master's that kind of distinguishes you. Maybe you have a pretty good internship under your belt. Maybe you were president of some, society that went really well, and you kicked butt in your interviews. You might come in as an 8, and that puts you a good, 5 years.
Did you have to do a thesis in your master's?
Nope.
Man, I'm glad I didn't go for my master's.
It's not fun.
Now, let me ask you this. What does this buy you, seriously, other than ass amount of tuition debt?
Well, for my
like
master's, I went during work. So my employer paid for everything, which was kind of a sweet deal. A lot of employers will pay for continuing ed. And, it's a resume booster. I'm trying to, how do I say this humbly? There's about...
Say it unhumbly, because I deal better with that.
So the entire IT department where I work is probably 3,500, 4,000 people deep. And in terms of pay grade, I'm probably in the top 30. So that's what a master's gets you.
Now, does the master's get you Cadillac or Maserati?
Probably Cadillac. We're not Scrooge McDuck over here. But,
always gotta be. Why do I have to be Scrooge McDuck?
Hey, I didn't call you out, man. It's you. You were the one who announced yourself to be Scrooge McDuck. I was just saying that I'm not Scrooge McDuck.
I do not have a giant vault full of gold, and most of our subscribers are too young to remember Scrooge McDuck.
Kyle, can I swim through your vault of gold if I go visit?
No, you cannot. I want to talk about Mel Gibson.
Yes. Let's talk about Mel Gibson.
Talk about Duke Nukem forever.
Okay, so first of all, Mel Gibson, one of my favorite actors of all time, and he can do no wrong in my eyes. Let me just say that
Wait
right
a
off
minute,
the
he
bat.
just did some wrong. Continue.
He is the road warrior.
Hey, before we jump into this, let's leave that one part toward the end of the story out because we did lose podcast 9 over something.
No,
right,
we've got the podcast marked as explicit now. We should be able to cover that stuff.
Okay, I can drop the N-bomb then, okay.
Be gentle.
All right, Mel Gibson, in case you guys don't remember, back in 2006, he got in this drunken argument with Malibu police officers when he was arrested for drunk driving, in which he, talked about how all the fucking Jews were responsible for all the wars in the world, and then he called the female officer sugar tits. He's like, what are you looking at, sugar tits? And he got in trouble for that. And, doesn't faze me one bit. I'm not Jewish. No problem there. I don't have sugar tits. Doesn't bother me. So, recently, not too long ago, he divorced his original wife, to whom he'd been married for, I believe, 27 years, remarried this 40-year-old Russian chick who's pretty hot. She's 40, he's 54. They're going through a divorce right now, and she recorded his phone conversations and kept his emails, kind of a Tiger Woods type situation. And I'm going to read you a couple excerpts of what he said to her. He says, "How dare you act like such a bitch when I've been so fucking nice to you? I'm going to come over there and burn the fucking house down, but you're going to blow me first. You look like a fucking pig in heat, and and it's not going to be my fault when you get raped by a gang of niggers."
Mel Gibson bringing the class.
Wow.
All right, now let me just say this. Sometimes bitches don't know when to stop. All right, first of all, when everybody out there has a little bit of racism in them. I don't care who you are. If, there's some Asian guy out there who absolutely fucking despises Eskimos. For whatever reason. He hates them. Everybody has a little bit of racism in them. And when you're drinking and you're dealing with a serious situation like this woman who's divorced you and going to take half your fucking millions and millions of dollars, I can understand a crazy outburst. He is the road warrior. He can do no wrong. That's how I feel about the situation.
I think he made a mistake there. But that's not a very nice thing to say. And I think it's hard to argue otherwise.
I think he's too good of an actor and got too much money to even give a fuck if he messes up and something like that. Publicity like that's never going to kill his career.
No, somehow Mel Gibson is allowed to be an idiot. He'll have a new movie and he'll be funny in it. And
hey, did you see Edge of Darkness? That shit was fantastic. I would pay to see another Mel Gibson movie.
I want to see Braveheart Part 2 where William Wallace comes back.
I want his head to come back on. I want him to be William Wallace Frankenstein.
Yeah, exactly. I want it to be like a futuristic movie where like they thaw him out and like put the pieces back together, and he's like, "I am William Wallace."
No,
and
dude,
they, like,
I got
send
it.
him in with that claymore.
He respawns like 15 feet away with Commando.
There you go.
And then takes out the guy who operated that guillotine.
Mel Gibson has made some of the most amazing, great, entertaining movies. You know, Lethal Weapon. I like Signs. Signs is one of my favorite movies.
Signs was good.
Did they shelf Fury Road?
I don't know.
I know he did it, but it has never came out. I wonder if he finished it. Mad Max 4 Fury Road is what I'm talking about.
I'll check. 2012 is when it comes out.
2012.
Nice.
So yeah, we got another Mel Gibson movie in the works.
He's not listed in the cast. Charlize Theron is, though. So is Tom Hardy.
Well, he did it. He did it because I remember hearing an interview about him on the set of it. So who knows?
I like Mel Gibson. That's a pretty crazy tirade he went on there, but I'm not going to hold it against him.
I don't hold anything like that against anybody. Most people, like, you say a mad word, they go,
like, dude, like we've all been in situations where somebody you're just furious and you hate the person and you'll say like crazy off the wall stuff that you don't even mean. You just want to like say the most disgusting, hurtful thing you can to that person and then beat them up a little, even if they are a woman. I mean, shit happens. I'm not holding it.
spit on your mutilated tits, bitch.
There you go. Perfect example. That's a little fucked up, though, Wings. But even though
Yeah, Wings. All of a sudden, you lost me a little bit.
No.
Hey, so this one, I think it's time for Cool Story, Bro, of the week. You guys down for that?
I'm ready.
So, Sandy.
I still want to hear Sandy Ravage's take on Duke Nukem Forever. We got to get this one in.
Duke Nukem Forever?
All right.
That thing's over. Why, have they mentioned it coming back out?
No, I just want to hear your take on it since you have all these Duke Nukem soundboards and all.
I haven't actually played Duke Nukem since I was 10 years old, so.
Come on, you didn't play Duke Nukem 3D when it came out?
Yeah, what was that, 96?
Yeah, that was a little while ago.
Something like
I was
that.
10 years old.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, I loved the game. I played it every day. It was my first multiplayer game.
I wonder if Duke Nukem Forever, they were serious about it the whole time? Like, every so often you'd hear, oh, they're scrapping the engine, they're starting over.
Well, that was the whole problem. They would switch the engine every few years, and eventually they ran out of money.
But I used to wonder if it was even true. Like, sometimes I think they reinvigorated Duke Nukem rumors just to play with us. Like, oh, trust me, it's still coming.
They put out that trailer like 2 years ago.
Actually, Take-Two Interactive has picked Duke Nukem Forever up.
It's cursed.
So it's still got a chance to come out.
Hey, if they made it, it's gonna sell. It's gonna sell.
Oh,
I don't think it'll be a good game though. I don't think it'll be good at all. So
you don't think it'll be a good game?
No.
I don't know. Duke Nukem game. Well, there's only been one good Duke Nukem game. The other two kind of sucked. Actually, the other three. I didn't really I didn't really like Time to Kill. It was a cool game, but like Duke Nukem 3D is the only standout, and the first two on the first platform kind of sucked. I mean, in the first one hit fucking pink. What?
Was the side scrolling ones?
Yeah, the one where it had like pink underwear on and shit.
Yeah. It's a little weird.
I just went to a
John St. John's still alive.
He is. I was actually gonna contact him. He offers a service for custom Duke Nukem quotes. I was gonna have him say a couple, do a commentary for me.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Oh my god!
There's a little disclaimer. It says for private use only. I was thinking of working around that.
Yeah, you could talk to him about it. I bet if you showed him your YouTube channel and how it didn't really make a profit, he might be down. But how cool would it be if Duke Nukem was like Sandy Ravage?
That would be the ultimate thing ever.
That'd be so.
I was really gonna do it. I don't know why I didn't. I couldn't think of a really good line for him to say.
Oh, just get your name in
How
there.
much do you charge?
I think it's like $50 for 30 seconds, which is not that bad.
Oh, I was going to say,
it'd be a lot in 30 seconds.
A whole commentary.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna put out like like one random word after each one.
No,
you know?
but I mean, you could get him like multi-kill, right? I mean, you could say, all right, I want a half a dozen of those for $50, or maybe even 10.
I mean, but it does say private use only. So is that an issue? I don't want to get sued. I got enough Metallica on my page to go to jail for like 100 years.
Metallica especially,
you're
they're
picking the
not
wrong
really
group.
pro Napster.
Lars is not happy.
You need to quit having the fucking Infinity War message you.
Yeah, that brings up another point. YouTube has this, I guess, a new copyright filter. They're getting on all of my videos. I don't know if that's trouble or not, but they might. I don't know. Like if YouTube has a problem, they might shut my channel down. Every single video has music on it.
I wouldn't really care if they put my channel down. I'd just restart it.
One video.
Yeah, I would have to somehow get it out there that I have a new channel, but
One
I don't
video,
think
I'm
it'll
sure
happen.
the community would rally. Yeah, it'd be no big
Yeah,
deal.
absolutely, dude.
You'd have 30,000 subs in a day.
I just don't
Yeah,
want
probably
them to pull down, all my biggest videos, Booster Justice and all that, they now have copyright content or whatever. I don't know if that even matters.
It doesn't. If the little song thing pops up, and you're good to go.
It's not even showing up, but I get an email for each one, but it's not telling you what song is playing. I don't know, it only happened last night, so...
Kyle,
it might
aren't you our
work.
resident in trouble with YouTube expert here? Do you have any advice?
Yeah, actually, I just got my second strike a couple days ago, so I'm down for about 2 weeks. Be back with you guys sometime soon on FPS Cow. Basically they're just contacting you to let you know that there's something fishy going on, but they're not going to take any action.
I already have one strike.
What was your strike for?
If you could,
I was uploading Modern Warfare 2 gameplay November 5th.
that'll do it.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be back with Black Ops.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing, man. I don't know how you got your copy, but I've already made arrangements. I'm going to get myself a
I'll
copy.
get it. New York City gets like the first shipment. You just walk in with straight cash and you get the copy.
Yep, I'm going to Best Buy.
Kyle, you have a hookup like that?
Yes, I do. You want a copy?
Yes.
Yeah, I do too.
All right. Anyone out there, if you want a copy of Black Ops a month early, they're $300 a piece.
$300.
I don't think that's our price, Wings. I think
That's
Kyle hooked us
crazy.
up.
Unless you're a YouTube commentator, then they're only $200.
I can swing 100.
I'm not kidding.
Cool story, bro?
Do it.
All right, so Sandy, here's the deal. Every week I have the guest host choose which of my cool story bros I tell. And let's see, which titles do I want to throw at you? Woody Saves 130 Lives. That one's not as good as it sounds. Woody's Adventure in Poverty. My Worst Beating Ever. And my personal favorite, Woody's Testicular Torsion.
What was the third one? Your worst beating?
Yes,
Like a physical beating?
absolutely.
I gotta hear it.
Oh, fuck. No one picks Testicular Torsion.
We
All
don't
right.
want to hear that.
It's better than you might guess. So, let's see. I got into a car accident, and that caused my my bone to hit my ulnar nerve, and then over the course of a few years, tumor grew in it, and I had surgery to remove this tumor from my nerve. And because of that, my arm was paralyzed. So, I had this surgery, and it was kind of a big deal. It went like 8 hours long, and the guy like carefully tried to remove the thing from the nerve without damaging it to whatever extent he could. And when I came out, my arm was paralyzed. So I'm in the hospital for like 3 days, and I come home. And the day I come home, my buddies sort of rally around me and take me to the boardwalk. This is in Ocean City, New Jersey. And I'm still
I ain't
like...
trying to stop you, Woody. I think you've told this one before.
You've told us them before.
Awesome.
Should I
Then-
switch it to testicular, whatever?
Yeah. All right, let's do that. Thank you. I told that one already. You want to do the testicular torsion one?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So I'm 15 years old. I'm sitting in biology class, and my balls hurt. Right? That's where I am on this thing. And you know, whatever. Jeans are too tight. Sometimes you got to adjust and fix this. But whatever, you know, moving around and dealing with this is not solving my problem.
I'm
And
starting to feel uncomfortable.
yeah, well, I'm starting to break out into a sweat at this point.
So am I.
And it's kind of escalating, the pain I have in my nut. So so I walk up to my biology teacher and I tell her that that I need to go to the nurse. And she was kind of a stickler. She didn't let anyone go. But I was pale and sweaty. And she's like, yeah, you can go. You don't look good. So the nurse was fairly hot. And I get down there and I'm like, you know, my testicle hurts. This doesn't seem right. And I'm secretly hoping for an exam from this, from this woman, but that's not how it actually went down. How it actually went down is she got the gym teacher, and this guy comes along. He's like a 250-pound musclehead, and he grabs a nut and he's like, "I'm not a doctor, but that's not right. That thing is too hard." And so they were kind of considerate of it, because I'm nervous about this getting out to the entire school, and they plan it so that it's not between classes, like where everyone's sort of traveling. Everyone's in the classroom, and they have an ambulance back up right to the nurse's office and sort of scuttle me from the nurse's office to the hospital. And at this point, I'm moaning and complaining and just letting everyone know about the pain I'm in like a bitch. I'm just like, it hurt a lot, and I didn't make any effort to hide that. And it turned out to be a good thing, because I got some real good attention. They put some sort of like ink in my blood, like radioactive thing, and they could tell the blood flow. And my nut wasn't getting the blood flow that it should have. So apparently your testicle's attached to your scrotum by some like spiderweb type of thing, and I didn't have that. And so it's spinning inside the scrotum, and the one of the cords that gives it blood flow.
Everybody else getting paid for this.
And the blood flow's not getting to it, so that's the deal. So they quick schedule this surgery where they slice my scrotum down the middle and untwist it. And in this, any like modesty I could have possibly had is gone. My mom is looking at my 15-year-old nutsack and like, oh yeah, it looks tightened up. I don't know. Yeah. And doctors and nurses and teams of 8 are examining me over the next couple of days. So I probably only missed like 4 days of school, but with the weekend in there, I had a good 6 days of rest, and then I had to go back to school. And when you're healing, there's like some gauze you put on the thing to deal with stitches like you would anything else, I guess. And so I'm back at school, and I had to wear sweatpants, because you can't like pack that baby in. You got to give it a little room to breathe while you're getting better. And just the way the gauze kind of like propped everything up, I was looking hung, and I had sweatpants on. And I would strut through the halls of my high school like a peacock with my cock out. I would just like, I remember girls looking at my package as I walked down the hall, because it was so pronounced. It was kind of like stuffing a sock underneath it because of the like bandaging around it. And and I was rocking the big boy there. And eventually got better. I was nervous about fertility for a little while, but I've had a couple kids since then without much trouble, and I'm good to go.
Woody, that story just made me so uncomfortable. I can't tell you. I feel like that's awful.
It happens, man. Had a twisted nut and pranced around school like a peacock with my cock out.
And as uncomfortable as that makes me, whenever I was watching the Discovery Channel once, and they were talking about what is it? Stones, like kidney stones.
Mm-hmm.
And they showed like pictures of them, and some of them, they're like these jagged chunks of calcium, and some of them are like big. And that's the same uncomfortable feeling I just got from that story.
I've heard that's one of the most painful things.
My dad's had 9 of those.
Why? Yikes!
They say that's
I would feel bad, Sandy.
I got them coming.
Ooh.
My grandfather had like 6 of them. My dad had 9. They're coming right for me.
Yeah, you probably won't go through your entire life without it.
He said it's by far the worst pain he's ever felt. Each
they
one
say that
never
it's
gets
second,
better.
second only to childbirth.
That's bad.
Huh.
Yeah.
You get
By the way,
tubes inserted.
They got like lasers and shit now that can crush them.
Yeah,
but apparently that is worse pain.
Really?
It's,
As long as it's not in my nuts. If it's like worse pain in the stomach, I can deal with the stomach pain a little bit more than nut pain.
No, the pain is the tube that is inserted.
Tube that's inserted. I thought
There's a
tube
tube
that is inserted. Yeah.
There's a tube. I didn't know there was a tube involved.
There's
I
a
thought
tube.
You
There
just
is
sort
a
of
tube
beat
because it
out.
has to open it. It has to make a wider opening.
Can they cut?
You gotta cut your penis in half like a loaf of bread? from like Italian bread. That's not good.
You could go in from the.
It's like a hoagie.
Midsection somewhere. We went down a road I did not intend to go down.
Yeah, I don't want a hoagie piece.
Stuff's not going in there. They're gonna have to cut.
What, are
and if
you
they
talking
don't
about having your
cut,
nutsack
I'll
cut
start
open?
cutting.
You worried about cutting a penis?
Yes, actually,
it's a series of tubes.
that like
A
the internet.
series of tubes. What are they? What is this? What? No. No.
Hey, you give me a bottle of whiskey and a right hook, I can deal with pretty much anything.
Oh my god.
Right.
No, I'd be like, all right, look, no, you're just got to cut me open. I know my kidney's back here on my back, and they're like, no, sir, that's not how we do it. You cut or I cut.
Going from the
You
back.
gotta give me some more feet over here. Give me a drip.
'Cause that's
Yeah,
how we're
man.
going in.
And when I look back at the whole experience, it wasn't so much the painful ambulance ride or any of that business. The thing I remember most was strutting the hallways of high school with the equivalent of like a sock in my pants.
Nice.
Proud as can be.
You know, see, but you could have kept that going home by putting a sock in your pants. You didn't have to have the scrotum cut open.
Yeah, looking back, that would have been a wiser course of action. Hey, I've got a subscriber brought this question into the podcast. What's the most angry you've ever been at a video game? What game was it, and what was the damage? You know, broken stuff. Sandy, can you go first?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't get mad at video games. I just don't. I've had friends who go ballistic, like they knock their TV over and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like they look like the Halo kid, that crazy German kid or whatever
Right.
that was.
I know him.
The kid with the milk on his face in Call of Duty.
No, wait a minute.
I don't get mad. I'm very easygoing.
I rarely get mad, and even when things go, not to say I've never gotten mad, but I'm more likely to do a darn it, this isn't working out than I am, you know, a total flame.
I laugh it off.
I often do too, but I've also been mad. You know, come on, never, lifetime.
I don't. If I broke a controller, I'd be really pissed. I don't do that. I'm very calm.
Yeah, I've never broken anything either, but I threw a controller once.
I get mad. I'm never gonna break something though.
Yeah, that's me too. Like, I don't understand the whole breaking stuff and punching walls. That like,
That's
it's
just
like,
psycho.
all right, I'm mad. It's like, all right, I'm pissed off. I'm mad. Now I'm gonna destroy something I enjoy. Like, no, that's just gonna make me madder.
There was a
I'm
time. So here's what happened.
Yeah, you're waiting for me to get it right.
Yeah, we're saving you for last, man. I know. I don't even know what your story's going to be, but here's mine. So, I was playing Call of Duty 4. This is when I first started playing Call of Duty 4, and I was kind of making my transition from negative to positive player. And because of the way that kill streaks work in Call of Duty, that transition is a really cool one. You know, you're a guy who suffers from air support to the guy that makes the other team suffer, and that's what's going on. And I had played on a 32-inch traditional TV, like a CRT, and I had bought a 52-inch plasma. And I had so much like hopes and expectations wrapped up in this plasma. Suddenly I was going to have 16 by 9 and perhaps a wider field of view. Suddenly I was going to be able to see enemies that I couldn't see before because they were just about invisible on that CRT. And I thought that it was going to really like instantly improve my game. But what happened is it was the wrong TV. It was this Vizio, and they're notorious for input lag. And the things that I was seeing were things that happened like a minute ago. It was like the worst network connection you ever had. It wasn't so much a TV as it was a newspaper. It was telling me about things that happened in recent history. And I went negative every single game all night, which wasn't, it didn't fit how well I could play at the time. And I ended up like cursing every game, and I threw my controller and the battery popped off. And I went out. You know how they say like don't drive angry? They should say don't shop angry for me, because I went out the next morning and bought the best TV I could find. Brought that home, and that was my rage story. But Wings, you're clearly gonna win this.
18 PS3 controllers, 3 Xbox controllers, 2 TVs, 1 keyboard, 1 handgun.
Oh God, you broke a handgun?
Yeah.
How did you break
He's hitting the Xbox with the handgun.
No, it's a high point. But
oh well, yeah, that'll do it.
Well, I have like what I have is like basically like this brick imports. Like it's not like the fake brick, but actual brick masonry.
Mm-hmm.
But I live in a double wide trailer. And basically what we did was we cemented the foundation and put the footers into the cement and then bricked under the house and made brick porches. Well, I got mad, and I didn't want to, because this just happened after I busted a TV. I busted like a 32-inch HD TV. I just kicked my foot right through it. And so I grabbed this high point handgun, which I had right at the time, and I took the clip out and I threw it. And then went out on the porch and I just spiked the shit because I was still mad. And the shit just went in pieces. It warped the frame of the gun. All this.
And this was seconds after you broke the TV?
No.
Oh, it was like a day.
I broke the TV. I broke the TV like a week before. I didn't want to do it again because I just replaced the TV.
So
can I ask what caused this?
Yeah. Mostly shooter games.
Like a noob tube?
Oh, it does. It takes little things to set me off. Like I hate losing.
Building rage.
I hate losing with a passion because video games is one of the things I've been always very good at, and I never have a network connection to fulfill my actual playing ability, and that pisses me off. Yep. Like if I can't get on the phone. Like I got on the phone with we have HTC here, which is like Ori Telephone Cooperative, and I was talking about line speeds. And they were giving me some bullshit like, well, for $200 a month, we can give you 3 up and 2. We can give you 3 down, 2 up. Yeah. $200. You better be giving me a blowjob with that shit.
Oh,
I was screaming at the guy.
The podcast is marked explicit now.
I mean, I get mad. It pisses me off how bad my connection is, just because I live a little bit outside of town. I live about 4 miles outside of town. And they're just too fucking cheap to run fiber optic in a rural area. Fucking faggots.
I wonder how much it would cost to get a good connection at my house. Like, I called Time Warner, but, like, maybe I need to call someone else and see what... If I could drop a one-time, $800 or $900 to get something run out here with a decent monthly fee, I'd seriously look at that.
Yeah. I'm about to check into that tomorrow, actually. Machinima finally paid us, and I refused using my own money for that, so I may use that money.
I think my favorite one though is my first Xbox controller. I was playing a game of Karachi, and I was just doing bad. I think I ended the game like 8-8 before I rage quitted, and I was just so mad. I took the controller and I spiked it, and the controller didn't break, and that pissed me off. So I picked it up and spiked it again.
Oh. No, so after I threw my Xbox controller and it didn't break, the battery pack popped off. I kind of felt a little ashamed, like I'm past this. I shouldn't be raging like that. I should have a little more self-control. How are you feeling when, like post-rage?
Me?
Yeah.
How do I feel like that? I feel like the fucking controller deserved it.
You failed me again for the last time.
Piece of shit, why'd you work?
But like, there must be this sort of like, let's take the TV one. Right, you broke a 32-inch TV, and I bet you didn't want it broken 5 minutes afterwards. Do you kind of like say, wow, that?
No, I'm the kind of person that will blame the TV, like you said, for input lag. If your ass would have worked, your ass would have still been working. I got mad I had to buy another TV.
Man, mine was input lag. I played better as soon as I got the new TV, and it had this like blindness thing. Like when you turned your character. Not only was there input lag, so I saw things late, but the refresh was so terrible that you were pretty much not able to see what was happening on the screen, which is like a big gray blob as your character rotated around. So when you like drop shot or work your way around the corner, you might as well close your eyes. And it was just unplayable.
Yeah, like I'm kind of mad at my TV right now because I paid $1,800 for it. It's like a 60-inch Samsung. Mm-hmm. And when I bought it, I didn't have the knowledge I have now. Like, I wish I could go back and rebuy a TV. And I just don't want to, like, drop, because I'm never going to get $1,800 out of TV again. I might get $5. Mm-hmm. And, I want to use the TV to an extent. It's a fantastic TV, but I could probably get a better TV more suited for what I do. Because 60 inches is way too big for video gaming, especially as close as I sit to it. Mm-hmm. I have trouble, looking at the UAV because I have to actually move my eyes over, and that'll make me lose sight of shit that's happening on the right side of the screen.
Or
and
like,
I've died many times because of that.
Another situation, like let's say you're on that little porch, the like trick spot you jump to from the flat roof on Karachi. You know what I'm talking about? And you have a view of the triple story and down the hall and down the alley. It's kind of hard to watch on a big TV 2 spots like that. And there's a million situations where you have to keep an eye on the left and the right. And if it's 60 inches, that's not peripheral vision.
Yeah.
I actually have a little hint. Play on a computer monitor. That's what I do. I've played on my 55-inch TV, 40-inch TV. Nothing compares to the 23-inch computer monitor.
Yep.
Yeah, I got a 22-inch computer monitor. It's like not the best. I think Woody tested it, but I don't feel like unhooking it and hooking it back up to my computer every time. I wish I could hook my Xbox through my computer.
Yeah, when I set up the
That's
man
what I do.
cave,
Yeah.
When I set up the man cave, I did all this research on like what the best gaming things were, and if you go to the MLG stuff and see what the pros use, they're not rocking 50-inch plasmas. They're using 22-inch computer monitors.
How do you hook an Xbox up to a computer tower?
So
well, what I do, I use the BMI Pro.
The
BMI
BMI
Magic
Pro
card.
Yeah.
And that will take HDMI inputs. And the Acer 23-inch H233H model, that's got the HDMI inputs.
That's what I have. The Acer 2.4.
Yep. I won't trade that for anything.
Yeah, I did my research. There, we landed at
I
the
had
same
the
spot.
Hapag. I have the HD PVR, and I had to play on my 40-inch LCD. I did that. I only got the BMI a couple months ago, so most of my videos are with the HD PVR on the TV. Nothing compares to playing on the monitor.
So you saying if I go out there and get a Blackmagic card and put it in my computer, that I'd be better off doing it that way than with HD PVR?
I think so, because what I do, I mean, you could call it like, what is it,
Here's how the
Tyrannosaurus aiming or something. You just stare at the screen. You get the whole screen in your field of vision. First thing that moves, you aim.
Here's how the connections work. You got an HDMI from the Xbox to the Blackmagic, and then another HDMI from the Blackmagic to the monitor. Right, so that's one. And then you have a separate cable from the computer to the monitor. And you just switch the inputs. Take it from this port, take it from this port. The same way you'd switch the inputs on a TV.
What I do, I take it a step further. Oh, go ahead.
My tower's already HDMI ready. Is there any way I can hook it up through that just to test it?
I don't know.
I don't think it has an HDMI input.
You need the input and the output.
Yeah, the BMI has a pass-through, so it doesn't add any lag or anything. It just,
you most likely have a video card that takes an output HDMI.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying because my computer monitors HDMI as well, so I got that hooked up through the tower.
Yeah. So you'd add a BMI card, and then you'd use another port on the computer monitor. That was.
Yeah, if you got a video card that has HDMI, you probably have the PCI Express slot for the BMI. You should be good to go.
Yeah.
But crack open the case and make sure you have an empty PCI Express.
Yeah, it's a tiny little one.
I do. I built the computer. I have one.
Okay.
But I bought that for streaming, which it produces. It's like watching HD video over YouTube live.
Yeah, someone in your stream today was saying that you have the best looking stream out there.
Yeah, if you have a good upload, you can get the bit rate up to 1500. And what I do, I have the HD PVR go into the BMI so I can record while streaming. And I have the BMI. The BMI could split a component input, which is really nice.
Oh, there's one more thing I'll talk about before we shut this shit down.
I've got one too.
I recently started doing the videos with the overhead and, drawing out John Madden type shit.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about copying. I don't think kids understand how copying works.
So I replied I think I had the highest rated comment on your first one, because somebody wrote, you copied Woody. And I replied, yeah. And I copied Onslaught and T. Martin, and they copied John Madden, and they copied Julius Caesar, who did it in the dirt with a stick. And, these aren't brand new ideas, but like drawing up a play is, it's new to Modern Warfare, and it's really cool. And I think that there's going to be a certain group of people who like learning from these videos that love it. But, and the end of my comment was, why don't you just give them a thumbs up instead of putting a negative spin on it?
I just wanted to get that out there. If nobody copied anybody, there never would have been anybody past Adam and Eve. Because, fucking simplicity, that's copying.
I knew that's where we're going.
There we were headed, huh? Yeah, so I think Blaine Truth, as far as I know, was the first guy to commentate. He wasn't the first guy to put video games on YouTube, but he was the first guy to do a voiceover and talk about what he was doing and maybe why he was doing it. Or, I don't know what he talked about in his very first videos. But then other guys started commentating. Hutch started doing it. Beyond used to do it, and some of those early guys. So, is Hutch a copier? Lighten up. It's commentating a video game, and just because someone takes it to the next level, and I think it is the next level.
Lil Wayne's whole rap career based off copying.
Oh, God. No, not Lil Wayne again.
Why you always pick on Lil Wayne?
Because if Shorty Low didn't exist, he'd be the worst rapper alive.
Someday, if I practice enough, I'm going to get a mini Sandy Ravage game.
Nice.
Someday I'm going to go out there. I'm going to have like an 80 kill game with the Spaz and an AC-130. And when I do it, I'm going to sit there and tell people everything I've learned. And I'm going to have subs that say I copied him. And it's
apparently I started the Spaz 12 movement. I don't know why, but
because you make it look like a deadly weapon. It's like
it's a good gun. It's really good. It's fun. It's one of the few fun things that's left in the game now that people have taken over with the tubes and all that.
Hey, anybody who shoots a new tube is copying me. Oh, you guys gotta stop.
No, but I'll watch one of your videos and I'll be like, all right, I'm going to go play some Modern Warfare 2, get out the Spaz 12. It looks like so much fun when you run into one of those spawns and just clear out about 4 or 5 guys.
I have montage moments, right? Like on Trailer Park, if I go there and get by where CDOM would be.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes I'll shoot like literally 7 people in a row and I feel like Sandy. But I haven't been able to pull a...
String them together.
Put a full game together.
Yeah, you need about, you need a couple of those to get at least dual AC-130s before
you need a lot of luck.
A
lot of luck, a good connection, and people that aren't hiding when the AC-130 is called.
Yep. Oh, and that I think I stretched it out too long in this, but that that knowledge you have of how to maximize your AC-130 is a really good thing. I don't run AC-30.
More people get into it. It's really, really fun to use the AC-130.
Did they nerf the Spaz with the Spaz?
No, I don't think it was changed at all.
A lot of people say
There's been rumors
that.
of it, but it's exactly the same.
It's exactly the same. All right. And here's the other topic I wanted to bring up. So here's the deal. I'm a grown up and I'm on Xbox Live, and every so often some little squeaker will say something to me, and my favorite comeback is you're a very rude young lady, because they haven't hit puberty yet, and it'll get the whole lobby laughing, and with that the battle is won. But my question, and I'm hoping Kyle can help here, what's a good comeback for a 13-year-old? If someone gives this poor guy a hard time and he wants to have a comeback, what can he say?
Who's picking on him?
Other people in the Xbox Live lobby. And I don't know what it's for, going negative or whatever, but they say something to this kid. Oh, I know what it was. He was trying to work as a team. Something like, there's a guy at the BDOM tank on Invasion, and then they harass him. They harass him for just talking with a squeaky voice. What's your comeback? Anyone?
I'm gonna have a hard time defending that guy, because first of all, he's 13. He shouldn't be playing the game anyway. His parents.
I got it for you. My nuts haven't dropped at 13, but yours hadn't dropped at 18. What you got to say about that?
That's not bad.
All right, look, no, but seriously, if you're 13, you're playing a game that you got to be 17 years old to buy. Your parents shouldn't be letting you play the game anyway. But if they knew anything about what Xbox Live was about, they wouldn't, unless they're just shitheads.
Can I interrupt
Xbox Live is full of 18-year-old douchebags.
Another one of my standard comebacks is, do you know how I know your parents don't love you? Because you're playing this game with me.
I like that one. I'm going to use that one.
But, so I hear where you're coming from,
bitch.
But this guy's one of our subs. He's on our side. So, Sandy, are you any good at this? Like, I don't know how to win an argument with
I'm good at making fun of them, but they never come back with anything. I like to ask them if their dad touches them where it hurts, but that's totally
Kenny,
different.
get the second knuckle in, buddy.
So,
oh,
you're a bad person. So, Wing so far my nuts haven't dropped at 13, yours haven't dropped at 18. What you got to say about that? Is that the best we can offer this guy?
What he
There's
really
really
needs
not
to
much
do
to
is go
say.
to, what he really needs to do is go to huppetgaming.com and get on sharing gamer tags so he's not playing with mean people.
That would help. That would do it. That's another thing. Literally, now when some guy says something ridiculous or maybe even a witty your mom joke, the fact that half the lobby is my friends, you can't win. You know, they're not on his side. That's just the end of the story. So that would probably help him a lot.
Tell you what, half the lobby hates me when I join a game. I don't get it. Like, half the lobby will like me, and the rest just yell at me the whole time.
Is
Half the lobby follow you.
Your team that likes you and the other team that hates you? Is that what it could be?
Like, people on my own team, you suck, Sandy, blah, blah. I don't get it. I don't even make commentaries.
Yeah, that's just haters, dude. Anytime you seem to project yourself better than them, they gotta break you down to make them feel better about themselves.
Crazy.
I had a coworker who compared me to Obama, and regardless of where your political affiliations fall, he's like, Obama's out there. In his mind, Obama's good, and he's like, Obama's out there trying to do something. He's trying to get health care. He's trying to help people, and just by virtue of the fact that he's in the public eye, he's gathered a lot of haters. Well, that's where you are too, right? And the things I do with my channel are mostly helping people play better and helping people play the game better. Every so often, I do a commentary that's trying to be funny, where I sing or tell Onslaught I'm his daddy. And
yeah, but you still get bombarded with your camper, Woody.
I don't really get bombarded with that particular one because I'm usually playing the objective. Usually, if I post a video, I want it to be undeniable that I have the objective in mind and I talk about it in the commentary. But I still get haters. I still get possibly a guy that attacked our podcast. I still get people hacking the Sharing Gamertag site. I still get haters out there, and I haven't given them any fuel as far as I know. But if you're in the public eye, they will find you.
I'm gonna go see Anders here. People seem to be unintelligent. Like I got invited into an Xbox Live group today. Watch, I joined the live group just to scream at them because I got tired of seeing friend request shit pop up. But I started talking to them. What?
That's not how you handle it. But go on. I joined their party just to scream at them because I didn't want to see the notifications. I would never do that.
I was just mad. I just wanted to vent. I'm a creature of emotion.
If you go in there, a lot of times they're too afraid to even talk to you anyway.
They never talk.
Yeah, they'll invite you to the chat and then they don't
say a word.
Really? I've never joined one. But
I go in to calmly talk to them, to see like what they're yelling about. No one says a word and they just leave.
And I go in this thing. The first thing goes, "What you doing, fat camper?"
Oh, nice.
You should be like camping and eating ice cream. What are you doing?
I'm like, dude, do you even know how to... First thing I question, do you even know how to play Modern Warfare 2? Yeah, I run around quick-scoping. I'm like, how much success does that bring you?
Yeah.
None. This is being honest.
There are very few people who can consistently pull off good quick-scoping games.
The worst is I'm trying to play Domination, and there's people doing 720s in Spawn trying to hit a no-scope across the map. What's the point?
The fact is, he started talking about quickscope and how he's a beast at it. And so I go, what's your KD? He goes, 1.4. I'm like, all right. Let's say we all have 20 kills, and we're based off our KDs. All right, you being 1.4, you have 20 kills, but you have 16 deaths. That's what 1.4 is about. All right? I have a 3.03 KD, so I had 20 kills. I got 6 deaths. Which person would you rather have on your team?
You asking me?
It's just
I don't want any quickscoper. I don't care how good the quickscoper is. I don't want him on my team.
Really?
I don't either.
You don't care how good they are. You don't want them on your team.
No.
Because even the best quickscoper,
they miss
30 and 15.
You're gonna miss when the guy's capping the flag and they're prone. You're gonna miss them. They're gonna cap the flag, and that's it. You lose. I don't need that. But then if you use a 3-shot burst, overpowered, yada yada.
You try to tell me the UMP-45s are a problem. Like, hell no, it isn't. It's like a subpar assault rifle.
Toward the end, COD 4 got here too. People were like, you can't use the AK, it's a noob gun. You can't use the M16, it's a noob gun. You can't use the MP5.
Can't use anything.
Yeah, it went on that.
Like, what was wrong? The AK-74U raped just as much as MP5, but you were allowed to use it. That wasn't...
and even that some guys would fuss about. People fussed about almost every... The RPD was a noob gun.
Single gun is easy to use, besides probably the F-2000.
So, Modern Warfare, I see, headed the same way. You can't use the UMP-45, you can't use the TAR, you can't
Every video, you get the...
I see Modern Warfare 2... So far, Modern Warfare 2 is the most perfectly weapon-balanced
Because every gun is
dude.
overpowered, but you can't even call them overpowered. Every gun is easy to use. You know, nothing.
Every gun's a laser. It's
I
like,
think
okay,
the F2000 is the most handicapped.
yes,
Like,
it is.
I've talked about this before. All assault rifles should handle like the F-2000. They should be good at medium range and shit at long range.
But then a gun like the ACR, you go full auto. That thing's keeping a 1-inch grouping across the map to infinity. So
I
Wish I had that
don't
kind of
know what they
accuracy
were
of full
thinking
auto.
of that. I mean, the FAMAS, like I go back and forth between COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2 most days. Like I'll play a couple hours of COD 4, a couple hours of Modern Warfare 2 sometimes. And the M16 in COD 4 I was playing today, and I just playing on Countdown. I think it went like 50-7 or something. And I was thinking to myself, like, if I had a FAMAS, I'd have went 75-3. Because I'm having to 3-4 burst some of these people if they're across the map. The FAMAS would be 1 bursting them.
I do like the FAMAS more than a Call of Duty 4 M16, which was like the
Yeah, it's better.
ultimate gun. It shoots faster.
It's got that smaller red dot. It's so precise.
It's great. I love that gun.
I don't know. I'm just hoping Black Ops takes some of the good things from Call of Duty 4, the good things from World at War, mixes them together and makes it a game.
They got an easy job. I mean,
I know, right?
Modern Warfare 2 was a huge beta test.
Yes.
Make a good game based off it.
You know, if you removed the explosives and the death streaks and
Game is amazing.
Commando, then you'd have a really, really good game.
Like, when
I'd be
you play
saying,
private matches. Go ahead.
I was going to say it's hands down better than COD 4.
You guys
if
are
they
you
make
guys are
just
skipping
few
over the
changes.
spawn system.
Oh, it doesn't bother me.
It bothers me badly because I play free for all. The spawn system's
Oh.
horrible. in Modern Warfare 2.
Wait. I'm going to agree. In free for all, I think you just kind of accept that the spawns are.
They're going to be everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, people complain about you camping in free for all, but you can't move in free for all.
Right.
You
Someone's
shoot
gonna-
a guy and you run to his spot. He's shooting you in the back.
Well,
Because
see,
he's on
I don't
fire.
understand why they complain about camping and free-for-all, because it's not like, all right, like the reason you keep moving in Team Deathmatch or Domination is because the enemy spawn is over there. It's across the map. We got to go over there and get to it. In free-for-all, it's 20 feet to your left, 20 feet to your right, 20 feet in front of you, and 20 feet behind you. Just spin in circles. You're in the spawn.
I'll take that back. I'll take it a step further. To me, camping in TDM and in free for all is not that big of a deal. The big deal to me is when guys aren't playing to win. You know, whatever style you employ in an effort to rack up wins is okay with me.
Yeah.
I watch Onslaught play, and he'll defend a bomb, but he doesn't usually do it while standing on the bomb. He does it from 75 yards away, and he sits there with his FAMAS and defends the bomb just as effectively as somebody with a SPA sitting on top of it would be. Probably more effectively because he builds kill streaks. And
Exactly.
so
I mean,
you call that
camping is
No, he's objective
camping and
playing.
defending are often the same things. For example, like capture the flag on favela. If you're defending that flag that's on top of the map, I don't know which spawn that is, the one that's on top of the map.
Hey,
You've got to get in that trench back there and just wait. Like there's nothing else you can do. Like you just
Crack
sit in the
house.
trench, wait for him to come.
the crack house is the best place to defend that flag, I think. That's me anyway. Unless they have noob tubes, then what do you do?
Or RPGs up your bitch ass.
Yeah, they just insta-death that whole room, and then, that to me is where Modern Warfare 2 is the most frustrating. Deaths that were unavoidable. They just decide you should be dead.
Noob tubes were in Call of Duty 4. The main problem is the one-man army, I believe.
Exactly.
Now, in Call of Duty
And the
4,
fact
would
that
you
you don't
get
lose your
3 noob
first pro-
tubes?
2. Yeah, 2 noob
No, but if you ran the overkill class, you get 3 or
you could get 4, right?
You get 4.
4. All right.
But that wasn't
That's
common,
not
'cause
one-man
everybody
army.
wanted
One-man
stopping
army,
power.
20.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if y'all agree with this, but COD 4, the noob tubes were weaker.
I think
not
they're the
sure.
same.
I think Danger
hang on.
Close wasn't as powerful.
Oh,
maybe.
Sonic Boom, yeah.
It wasn't. The
Yeah.
Danger Close is more powerful than Sonic Boom.
Yeah, it seemed like I'm getting killed from 15 feet away. So,
I've
I'm talking
got
about
a,
just straight out the gate.
got a new topic.
Like, all right.
Are friendships an important aspect of the YouTube scene? And I thought this would be a cool one for Sandy because, I'm fairly social, and I know a lot of the guys on YouTube. But either Sandy travels in different circles than me, or he just doesn't hang out with other YouTube commentators.
I would be the definition of a lone wolf.
Uh-huh.
I play with my friends. That's really like real life friends. I have commentators on my friends list, but I really don't play with them. So I could see the benefit of it, but I never really got around to it. So
I think we touched on this with Blame Truth, because when we talked about once you get to a certain level of popularity, you can't get friends anymore. Everybody wants something.
That's I bet Sandy sees that too. When somebody new wants to be on your friends list, don't you often feel like it's not a balanced relationship?
yeah, everyone tries to get on the friends list. I don't see the appeal. I don't really get it. I tell them all the same thing. It's real life friends only. I got like 16 friends on my friends list. I don't have 100 friends on it. So I deny everyone.
It's annoying too, because like I have like 30 friend slot open, and every time I log on my Xbox or PS3's worse because I got like 80 open on PS3. I have to go around and decline all of them just so I can get to my actual friends somewhat fast to invite them to games or send them messages.
Yeah, PlayStation 3, you can't just hit up and start from the bottom. You got to scroll through a million of those messages. That's bad.
I don't know why they send you the friend request. I think we've all said it multiple times in many commentaries and collaborative endeavors that we don't accept them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like knowing other YouTube guys, and I don't know, they go through the same thing. They have haters. I remember one day I was getting hated on a lot. I talked to Power Puncher. I was like, does it ever bug you? Because he was getting hated on after one of his podcasts. I was, I don't know, commiserating, talking it out with him. It's nice to have, other people who are doing the same thing and working through it.
What I don't enjoy is the whole drama scene going on. It's always like sides and camps, and I don't do any of that. I'll play with anyone
whenever I can. Sometimes it seeks me out, but for the most part, I don't have any drama. I avoid it.
I'm not into that.
Yeah.
So you guys gonna be buying BSN Plus?
Yeah, I am.
What are the benefits?
I'm looking at it right now. I just turned my PS3 on.
Oh.
Well, while you're looking at that, I just wanted to say in the podcast, I ordered about 2 hours ago something called a what is it? Cross Battle Adapter, I believe. Basically, it lets you use your Xbox controller on your PlayStation 3, and I guess that would, if some of you guys are thinking about, getting a PS3 to play some of the PS3 exclusives, that would be a really good thing for you guys to get. On eBay, it's like $35. I think normally it's more like $75 or $80, but I found a pretty good deal on it.
Yeah, just add a little note to that. The PlayStation 3 Slim requires the it's like pink or purple one, XCM Battle Adapter or something.
Yeah, so make sure you read the specs.
The cheaper one it's way cheaper, but it doesn't work for PS3 Slim.
This is probably the longest podcast we've done.
Blame Truth went 2 hours.
Yeah. So we should probably cut here.
Yeah.
But Sandy, thanks for coming on. Appreciate having you.
No problem.
Very good.
Been Painkiller already. Episode 11.
Later.